I killed him. Because he was a slob. He's a mean slob. Wanna know how? Wanna know how I killed Top Sergeant Steve Tanner? Top heel Stevie?
Oh, please, I don't want to know.
Oh, come on, baby, now you know I did it. Why not get the full facts?
Like I said, don't tell me.
I smashed his head against the wall. You're still standing there. He's a very tough boy. Standing there at the top of the stairs, so I belted him all the way down. That's how easy it was.
You murdered him.
Yeah, well, we're a lot better off without him. I'm not going to do time for doing the world a favor. You better believe that. I'm not going to do any time.
Well, you won't, will you? Because, I mean, nobody knows.
That's right. The third person of whom we know nothing. That's what the coroner said. And all the time there's Joe and Ellie looking him straight in the eye. But now somebody does know, don't they?
Oh, I won't say nothing. Honestly, I won't.
No, I don't think you will.
Ah, have you got another cold coming on?
Seems like.
Give over, it's just an excuse for a booze up.
This isn't boozing. This is what you call preventative medicine. First sign of sneezing, get whiskey and lemon down here. Knock it on the head before it starts.
Yeah, well, the only reason you'd stop sneezing is you get so paralytic drunk you won't be able to find out where your nose is.
As long as it works. Hey, is this yours? I found it on the bar when we closed.
Do me a favour, I've got tastes. That's Bet Lynch, it sticks out a mile.
Rather like...
Bet Lynch, yes.
Pinch your yank, did she?
So what? She can have him.
I'll do the old army trick if it is out missing. Pinch it off the next bed.
Oh, you must be joking. Greg? Joe's not bad, though.
God damn it! This is the thing they used to give to monkeys to see if they could have coordination. The monkeys don't have to be drunk. Let's try again. Ha! Great discovery. I claim it's the Nobel Prize. I'm gonna have a drink. Music. Just don't you get uptight, baby, about this. Can you come on? You be nice to Joey.
I just want to go. Please let me go out.
No? Look, so I happened to kill a guy, so what? He was a bum. Now, you can ask anybody. No. You don't ask anybody. You don't say nothing, we'll be all right, we'll have a nice time. You're not saying very much. Come on, speak to me!
What did you want to go and kill him for?
Sergeant Tanner is the guy who liked to have things on you. He used to run the poker schools. Anybody want to stake their pay throwing crap, playing cards? Steve Boyd fixed them up. Well, got so a lot of guys owed their pay to Stevie Boy. You get me?
Yeah.
He knew it was rough on them, no dough in their pockets. So out of the goodness of his heart, he lent them back their paychecks. At a dime a dollar, that's a hell of a lot of interest paid him. But the only way he could get out from under was to win a big pot of money. But the only game he could get into was one that was set up by old Stevie Boy. This slob was practically a genius. I mean, you need to win money, you never do. The boy I needed, he was on to me for about $2,000. And a dime a dollar, that's $200 a month he was trying to screw out of me. And like I said, he liked to have things on you. He had things on practically everybody. He could really put the screws to you. Look, if I hadn't have got him, somebody else would have sometime, sure as hell. That bloody inquest. Going over all that stuff. Who was there? What time was it? The name of the cab driver. It didn't mean anything. I damn near got up and sold him. The guy was a slob. Now, come on. Let's go dance on his grave. Now, look. Just in case you didn't get the message, here's the deal. You don't talk to anybody. You too might get a broken head. Well, even if I'm inside, I can arrange it. I've got friends, and you know him. I wasn't the only guy who was after Steve Tanner. Now, come on. You got a face like a lost doll. Come on. Be married! Life's too short.
I won't.
Hey, listen,
well.
listen.
What?
Wouldn't you know it, eh? That's where they are. Boy, oh boy, can that guy handle broads, huh?
They're crafty devils. They've had the place themselves for hours.
Oh. Yeah, that's Joe, all right. He likes to keep out of sight.
You can say that again.
What do you mean?
Ah, Nothing, honey, nothing. Forget about it.
Well, come on, everybody.
Hey,
Enjoy
Maggie.
yourselves, make yourselves at home, coats and hats behind the door.
Listen, you got some glasses? Some ice?
Hey, would I be on my own if I said I could fancy a little snack?
Oh, now you really... Well, now, what do you got?
Anything in the shop you fancy?
Okay, leave it to me. I used to be a short order cook.
Oh.
Hey, let's go and get John Irma. What the hell with him? Leave him. Yeah. What's he ever done for us? Eh?
No, they're not. Come on, then. Let's go.
That's something else she can say. Yeah.
No. We want to stay right here for a while, baby.
But they'll think it's funny if we don't go down.
I think it's the most natural thing in the world. You know it. Come on. Just relax. Yeah.
Please, let's go down.
We're not going anywhere until you start acting like normal.
Well, it's all right, I am.
Honey, you're still hung up about that guy.
I'm not, so forget it, honestly. I just don't want to know.
Right. No, until Stevie Boy came in here, we were getting along pretty good. If I remember right, I was making a pass at you, so why don't we just pick it up where we left off? Come on, eh?
Oh.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, come on in. What is it?
I've just come to tell you that the folks downstairs are throwing a party and you're invited.
Well, that sounds good. How about Irma?
Yeah?
Well, come on. You want to go down? Come on, let's be sociable. Go ahead. We'll be right down there.
Yeah, I haven't interrupted anything, have I, kid?
No, we're coming down, aren't we?
Yeah, you go ahead. We'll be right down.
Okay.
It's a good girl. That's the idea. Come on. I want to have a big smile on that face of yours when we go down there. Because those guys are my friends.
Well, I don't see where I can turn if not to you.
And I'm giving you my advice. Stop worrying about it and get a good night's kip.
That's all very well, but I fail to see how I'm going to manage. I mean, nobody can get by totally without support.
Oh, Mum, it's not that bad. All you need is a bit of help behind the bar. Now stop making a big thing out of it.
Well, Miss Nugent refuses because of that man Bishop. Lucille is avoiding it, and you've got the garage.
Look, I'm not being unreasonable, Mum. I don't mind helping you out when I can, but what you need is somebody here all the time that I can't. I mean, what happens if I have to work late on a Friday? It's not unheard of, you know. And I must put the garage first.
I know.
Well, all I'm saying is that you can't depend on me, that's all. Here, your cocoa's getting cold.
Thank you. I'll advertise.
Oh, there's no need for that. We'll find someone. I mean, you, me and Lucia, we'll dig up somebody.
I don't want to dig up someone. You can't trust these casual people. Get their fingers in the till.
Oh, come on, Mum. There must be somebody. Hey, come on, get yourself to bed. It's 12:30.
It isn't.
It is.
I don't know how I'm going to get up in the morning. Turn off all the lights, won't you, love?
All right. Well, there you go. Why not? Hey, Bet, half a mo.
Do you have to shout?
Oh, it's like that, is it?
No, worse.
Had a good night last night, did you?
I don't know, I can't remember. Have you ever had the feeling that you never wanted another drink in your life?
It's funny you should say that.
Oh.
Look, are you still looking for a job?
Well, why else would I be dressed up like this morning of all mornings?
Oh, you're going off to one then, are you?
9:30, I've got an interview, and I'm seeing about another possible as well.
Only, I might have something for you myself.
What, in garage?
Not exactly, no. Look, don't make anything definite. See me in a Rovers at lunchtime and I'll fill you in, okay?
Yeah, all right, but what sort of a job?
Well, in view of the way you feel, love, I'd rather tell you then. See you, Bet.
See you, ciao, Billy.
Yeah, rings a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, can I have 5 of them small cigars, please? Hello, Elsie.
Hi.
Hey, you don't look too bright this morning.
No, I had a bit of a late night, you know.
Another one. Oh, swipe me. Good morning, sunshine. Were you at this rave up and all?
Oh, not me. I'm a married woman, remember? But I know the form. Remember, I was married to the GI. So long, see you.
So long now.
I'll give you my famous formula. Never fails. Half a pint of milk,
Half a pint of milk.
a yolk of an egg and a dash of Worcester sauce,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
one of them beef cubes and some peppermint cordial. Stir it
Oh,
all
thank
up.
you
It's lovely.
very much.
Never mind. You haven't got hangover and all, have you?
Oh, don't be stupid. Of course I haven't.
Sorry, I spoke.
Can I have a sliced loaf and half a marge? Well, is anybody going to serve me? Oh, I'm sorry, love. We're not at our best this morning, neither of us. Don't sound too chirpy yourself. No. Must be one of them days. Yeah, from Ken. Why? Well, I can ask, can't I? You're in a funny mood.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maggie. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have heard from him. He rang up last night.
Rang up from America?
Who rang up from America? Ken, at £2 a minute or whatever it is.
Oh, why? What was wrong?
Why should something be wrong?
No, I mean with him ringing up like.
Well, maybe he rang up because he just wanted to talk to me, that's all.
Well, you don't sound too happy about it.
Oh, there you are. Look, if you haven't forgotten how to sew a button on, do you think you could do a little darning job for us?
I suppose you'll moan if I don't. No, I haven't forgotten.
Oh, well, I thought, you know, with you getting fancy ideas and this gallivanting off on your driving lessons with young Langton.
Oh, you thought, did you? What would you say if I said I was too busy? Would you write and tell Ken in your next letter?
Well, you never know. I might at that. Hey, shall I bring it round?
I hope you find me in.
What's got into work this morning? Back in the firelight. What's up with you? You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
Well, it's easy enough to be destructive about it, but you got to remember that America's a country that has more of just about everything, and that unfortunately includes problems. I mean, you English, you like to act so goddamn superior.
Well, if you think America's that good, how come you're staying here?
Well, I've got my reasons. And for another thing, the dollar goes a lot farther over here.
Yes, I read the papers. London's full of Yanks who've discovered that.
You staying here permanent, then?
Well, who knows? I'm just going to kick up a little bit of dust until I make up my mind.
Same again. Fill 'em up, Betty, will you?
Right.
Not for me, thanks. I'm going to drop by and see Mrs. Barlow. Thought we might have some lunch together. Ciao.
Did I hear that right?
He means Irma, thickhead.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hello. What'll you have?
Just a short wait, I hope.
I've only come for my Wellingtons.
They must be going for a frolic in the woods. She always gets her wellies when she goes for a frolic, you know. Are you sure you won't have one, Vicar?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on now. It won't kill you.
Hey, and there isn't a thunderbolt for miles. I heard the weather forecast, so you quite safe.
Thanks very much. I don't think we've got time. We're just off to do a wedding.
Mr. Bishop, how nice to see you.
Mrs. Walker, how are you?
May I say how impressed I was by the high moral tone you took with Emily?
You mean what I had to say to her?
Of course.
Oh, I'm very glad. I thought perhaps you might be offended.
Oh, no, not at all. I see your attitude perfectly and understand it for what it is. Pure hypocrisy.
Hello, Mr. Tatlock.
Hello, look. By gum, that's the first person I've met today what's in a good mood.
Well, Ernest, shall we go, or would you like a little refreshment to help us on our way?
I think he'd soon go, love.
Why do you need Wellingtons at a wedding?
To keep my feet dry.
Oh.
You're right for asking.
Hey, young Langton, I've been looking for you. Do you think you could put me up some shelves?
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
Well, you know, it's got a bit fireplace to keep my knickknacks on.
Knick-knack shelves. Oh, yes, a speciality.
Well, not so much a knick-knack as a whatnot.
A what not?
Aye. Save me stooping down to the bottom of the sideboard all the time.
Albert, do you mind describing in words of one syllable exactly what it is you want?
Right, well, I'll show you. Have you got a pencil?
Definitely.
Thank you. Now, look, this is corner bit fireplace.
Hello, hello, hello. What we got here, then? A love letter to Martha Hardy?
Oh, blooming neck. Here am I, expecting a reply from Ken, and I forgot to post my letter to him. Anyway, I'll stick it in box on my way down.
should do, yeah.
Now, let's get back to where we were. Now, oh, and I'll have a drop of rum, please.
Give us 2 tins of beans and all, will you, love? I don't know. I try to keep up a stock, but Alan keeps having these little snacks at all weird hours of the night.
Oh, maybe you're not feeding him properly.
Get away! He had 2 lots of fish and chips for his tea, and he was still raiding the larder while the news was on. What do you do with them?
Tell him he's getting fat.
But he isn't.
Well, tell him all the same. Elsie, what are you doing for your dinner?
Oh, I don't know, something classy like a boiled egg. Why?
Well, it's just that Maggie's gone into town and I hate being on my own, you know, so why don't you come and have yours here with me?
Not a bad idea, kid. I could do with some company.
Funny how you get lonely, isn't it?
Is there something bothering you, love?
No, nothing in particular, no.
Hello?
Hi.
Elsie? How's it with you?
Oh, fine, you know, and you?
Never better. Look, Irma, I got some fish and chips. It just happens to be 2 orders of everything here. Can I invite myself in for lunch?
Well, I'll be off. I'll see you later.
I thought you was having your dinner here, Elsie.
I've just remembered Alan's coming home for his.
I bet he isn't. It's all right.
Come on, don't let me drive you away, Elsie.
Oh, me? Play gooseberry? I wouldn't have liked it, kid.
Well, how are we today?
I'm all right.
Now, baby, you've just got to relax. Oh, look, you get these unwrapped, and I tell you what. You make us both a lovely pot of that wonderful English tea. How's that grab you?
Well, I'll say one thing about Yanks. They certainly know how to give you a good time. We must have been in about 4 clubs last night, and none of us were members. Backhanders, you know, and they were all classy places.
Doesn't take much to impress some people.
Well, it's better than going Dutch at the Roxy in a quick bus ride home, but I suppose you've never done that.
Fella couldn't impress me by flashing money about.
Oh, well, never mind, Chuck. They would if you took more trouble with yourself.
Ha-ha.
First set to Miss Lynch, new balls.
Hey, where's your sense of loyalty? You ought to stick up for me.
What for? Because she got off with the fella you fancied? I'm glad she did, on account of I'm mad about you myself, aren't I?
Yeah, I know. But who wants consolation prizes?
Oh, you should have known better than interfere. I mean, only being a man.
Can I have a couple of packets of crisps, please, Betty?
Yes, love.
Hello, Val.
Oh, hello, love.
You stopping for one?
No, thanks.
Oh, well, maybe we can meet later on for a session.
Aye, aye.
Driving lesson.
Oh, thanks, but I'm busy.
Well, any time you suggest.
Well, I've got rather a lot on. Thanks all the same. Ciao, Betty.
Hey, what is up with Val?
I'm glad you asked me that. I was beginning to think it's just me.
Well, it could...
I'm here.
Oh, great. Hey, Bet.
What?
Is my mum in the back?
Oh, she's been out quite a while, love, you know, in town.
Oh, well, perhaps it's all for the best. Look, we need a new barmaid.
Hey, nobody said out about it to me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. You know, it's my mum's latest scheme. You see, my mum's idea is that she's going to play mine hostess, which means we're going to be a pair of hands short behind the bar. And it would have put you in lumber, wouldn't it, if we didn't get anybody in?
I see your point.
Yeah, and I thought Betty would make a first-rate barmaid.
I'll second that.
You keep out of this. Oh, do you fancy it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's talk business. Do you know about the hours?
Oh, you just had half hour either end of the licensing hours, love.
Ah, disadvantages. Well, it knocks your weekend on the head for a start. Days off, you'll have to work them in with Bet. Remembering, of course, that she's been here longest, so she gets first option, right? Advantages, well, it's very sociable, and you're serving a vital need for your community.
Yeah, but what's the money like?
Oh, you sort that out with my mum. Look, can you come back at, say, 6 o'clock this evening?
Well, I don't know. I've had this other offer, you see, and I've got to let them know.
Ah,
I mean,
see.
I'd take this if I knew it was definite. But if I turned the other job down and then your mum says...
Oh, say no more. I love making decisions. You're on. I'll see you're all right about the money. Now, I think the best thing is for you to get stuck in right away. Then when my mum comes back...
Smashing. I'll nip home and get into something more appropriate.
Right, hurry up. Well, do you think she'll do?
Not up to me, love. I mean, it's up to your mum, isn't it?
No, not really. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We are going to stay around here for a while, baby.
But why here?
Well, suits me. I know a few people. I'm not a stranger. Come on, how about that cup of tea?
But don't you think you'd be better going somewhere where nobody knows you at all?
Strangers make people curious. Hey, well, you're talking like I was on the lam. There's nobody investigating the Tanner case. It's a dead letter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's right, unless you say something. That's a hell of a good reason for me to stay right here to see that you don't.
Oh, no, you're wrong. You see, if you went away, I wouldn't say nothing, but you being here makes me nervous, and if I'm nervous, I just might...
You might what?
I might slip up.
I just have to take a chance of that, baby. If I'm here to make you jittery, if I was somewhere else, I'd have the jitters, wondering whether you were going to say anything or not. I'm going to stay right here.
You could just disappear. I mean, you've got the whole world to disappear in if you wanted to.
Do you know how small the world is? Do you know about extradition treaties? Well, there's no place you can disappear. There's no place worth being alive in. I don't know, I've checked them all out. The world isn't as big as you think. So come on, you just be nice to Joe and you let me stay here, huh? You know, sometimes I wonder, too. I wonder how it came to be this place. Why? You try to sort out all the little things in your life and you look for a pattern. Maybe, I don't know. You see what I'm trying to say? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm here. A lot of little accidents all piled up together, and that's called the history of a life. That's why I'm here. And it's one hell of a long way from home.
Well, I think this pub's got everything now, except civilized opening hours. What do you say, Greg? Yeah. I thought you'd say that.
Your mother won't like it, you know.
Listen, darling, in this pub, like any other, the paying customers are all men. She may not like it, but she can't escape from the fact that it's good for business. Anyway, I think it's smashing.
How am I doing? It's not very good, is it?
Oh, you're not doing bad, honey. You just need a little more practice, that's all.
No, love. Watch me.
Why, heck, hey, what? You've been making some improvements in here.
Right, love, I think you're doing all right.
Billy, could I have a word with you, please?
Told you.
Right, love, you just stay where you are.
It will be all right.
Of course it will. I've told you I've taken you on.
Would you mind telling Miss Lynch to get dressed and go home, and then perhaps you'll be kind enough to tell me what she's doing behind the bar?
Mother, she is dressed and she's our new barmaid.
Oh, no, she isn't, dear.
Oh, look, Mum, Bet Lynch was willing and available.
I don't doubt
Oh,
it.
now, come on, Mum. I had to do it on the spot. You weren't here, and I thought she fitted the bill, so I took her on.
Well, I'm sorry, but you had no right to.
I think I had every right to, and I thought I was doing you a favour.
If lowering the standard of this pub to something more suitable to the Dock Road is doing a favour...
Oh, Mum, if she was dressed like that in a pub in London, they wouldn't bat an eyelid. Well, at least give her a chance. I can't go back on my word now, can I?
I think I'd best hand him his resignation before I start.
Oh, don't talk like that.
Well, I'm telling you, honey, if you quit, it's going to be over my dead body.
And mine.
Miss Lynch, could I have a word with you, please? Billy has explained to me that you're helping us out for the time being. Now, of course, I cannot be responsible for any arrangement that you and he have made. But if you and the job find each other suitable, I may decide that we need someone permanently. At the moment, of course, I can't say. Oh, and do dress up a little warmer in future.
Hey, Val. Val, hang on. Look, what's up?
Nothing.
Come on, I'm not daft. What is it?
Ken rang last night.
What, from the States?
Yes.
Well, he must be missing you then.
I don't know. He didn't say if he was.
I don't get it.
He rang not because he was missing me or because he wanted to hear the sound of my voice. He rang because somebody has written him a letter saying things about you and me.
Are you joking?
I wish I was.
What kind of things?
Oh, I don't know. You can imagine.
Well, it sure seems as if somebody can imagine anyway. In fact, somebody has got a right prize-winning, nasty little imagination. Who was it, do you know?
Well, Ken wouldn't say, but I've got a pretty good idea.
Who?
Oh, it must be Uncle Albert. He thinks he's in a special position because he's family and he's a busybody. And I happen to know he's written a letter to Ken.
I happen to know he never posted it.
How?
Oh, he pulled some papers out in the Rovers and I noticed an airmail letter for Ken. So, whoever it was, he certainly owe Albert a bit of an apology.
Maybe that was another letter.
No, it was all dog-eared, you know, and anyway, he said he'd forgotten to post it. It has to be somebody else.
Makes me sick, doesn't it? I mean, who'd stoop to that? Who's got the nasty little mind for it?
Well, whoever it is, love, they're sitting there laughing and smiling behind one of them doors. Come on, mate. It's only spitting, so you won't melt. Though you might at that. Hello, darling.
I forgot how flaming horrible it is working for a living.
Well, you know what they say about power, Leonard. Even councillor power, it corrupts. Still, you soon forget you've been swanning about in Holland after an hour or two on a factory roof. And look who's here, the little elf herself.
That's all I need.
Oh, hello, lad. When did you get back?
Last night, love. Late last night.
Ah, my Stan's missed you, you know, especially accompanying Rovers.
What Stan's missed is me helping him back from the Rovers every night and pouring him down your lobby.
Oh, you know, I think my poor husband must be the most malignant man on this earth. Hey, talking of the Rovers, though, you won't have seen the new barmaid, will you? If you can call her that. First time I saw her, I thought it was a jukebox.
A new barmaid, what you on about?
Wait till lunchtime, I'll show you. In the meantime, work, 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 work. Definite.
Really, you can spare me a moment, sure.
At most, there must be about 16 hours to a working day, and today I'll need twice that amount to even map out a programme, right?
What I have to say will only get a second. Now, I want you to give Bet Lynch notice. Does her name sound as though it ought to be over a pawn shop, or is it just that I'm prejudiced? Anyway, I want you to give her notice.
Mum, I'll tell you what I'll do.
No compromises?
No, I'll compromise a bet. I'll bet that having Bet Lynch behind that bar improves custom appreciably, and if it does, she stays. Now, how's that?
Improves custom? Oh, Billy, don't be ridiculous. I suppose you're basing your assumption on the hoary old image of barmaids, big, blousy creatures, dispensing comfort and advice with the bitter beer. Oh, your modern customer is much more discerning. He wants charm and intelligence, not a person that looks as though she's straight off a seaside postcard.
A wager.
All right, a wager she'll drive away more customers than she'll attract.
We'll see, Mum. We'll see. Ta-da.
Ladies and Lucille.
Oh, Mr. Fab bloke if I don't push. He's always purring at Bessie Street traffic lights in his sports car. That's if they're not at red. Heck, I've just thought, what a way to be conducting my life. Yes, Auntie Annie.
What is your opinion of the recent addition to my staff?
Bet Lynch.
Who else?
I think she's a dog.
Whatever that may mean. And what do you say?
Well, she seems rather well, suited to the job.
She's totally unsuited.
Oh, I understood that her, well, shape and appearance were almost de rigueur for a public bar.
Et tu brute. I have served behind a public bar for many, many years, Miss Nugent, and I am hardly her shape and appearance, and never have been.
Oh, I wasn't suggesting that,
Yes,
Mrs.
well,
Walker.
apparently Lucille is far more perceptive regarding Miss Lynch than you are.
But surely you know why Lucille said what she did.
Well, of course. She feels that she is, to put it as delicately as possible, too obvious.
Oh, no, Mrs. Walker. Lucille considers Bet a rival for the affections of our American friend, Gary Strauss. That's why she thinks she's a dog.
I'm not kidding. After 5 minutes on that roof, he was suffering from frostbite, vertigo and mumps.
Poor Len. You could have found him an easier job to start with.
After all that time leading the life of Riley.
Well,
I tried to fix him up at Bradford Colliery, standing in for a pit pony.
I still feel sorry for him.
Ah, that's because you fancy him.
Ooh, you know more than I do then.
Ah. Hey, I'll have a jar of coffee, see if a hot drink won't bring him round.
Hi.
Haven't they reported you yet?
Well, I've got influence in high places.
Oh, England for the Viet Cong, that's what I say.
You have just solved the entire Southeast Asia problem. Her man?
She's still upstairs.
I think I'll go in and smoke her out.
Cornflakes and sympathy, eh? Can't be bad.
2 and 10.
You're getting rid of me fast, aren't you?
I always like to be on the safe side. Hello.
Hi.
You having words?
I just like to keep my distance.
Oh, yes, it's safer to be distant, Maggie. I mean, act natural and friendly, and people around here start imagining all sorts of things, don't they? Well, look, I
make it with you lying on it, can I?
All right, baby. Well, we are getting independent, aren't we? Yeah, that's good. That's what I like. That's like me in the Army. That's why I took off. All that yes, sir, and no, sir. And what I really wanted to say was you go take a powder, sir. Hey, you're not listening to me, Irma. Now, really, baby, you should listen to... Steady!
Well, look, I've got to make the bed, haven't I? And I mean, I could do without you coming here at this time of the day.
All right. I'll stay away mornings. I might even stay sober and give my dulled senses an airing. Yeah?
Okay, we come in through the flat, Joe?
Sure. We both serve under the same flag, don't we?
Is that right, Joe? Did you serve under the same flag?
Yeah, well, Old Glory really never did an awful lot for me.
Hello, Irma.
Hello.
You don't mind us barging in, do you?
No.
I've got a shop full down here.
Everybody wants her.
I'll be surprised.
I could do with a hand.
You go lend her one, baby.
You know, for a fairly average guy, you certainly seem to know how to handle women, Joe.
Yeah, well, you see, it's this excessive personality.
Yeah, personality. That's what bothers me about Irma. She used to be full of it.
Yeah, well,
Now-
she's a little off color.
Well, she looks okay to me. So do most chicks.
Yeah, well, she's had a rough time. Her baby and her husband dying like that, it's why not take it out of her? Anyway, don't worry. I'm looking after her all right.
Sure, Joe. Have you changed your mind yet?
Oh, no. God, here we go again.
Okay, Joe. So you've made a gesture, huh? I mean, you don't like the Army, so you went AWOL. Now, look, let's be sensible, eh? Cut your losses and let's grab the next plane back, huh?
Well, it could have been Maggie, couldn't it? I mean, everything that goes on in this street is discussed in that shop.
Ah, but Maggie Clegg.
Well, she's not got a husband, has she? Not really. And women like that can get up to some very funny tricks.
Let's not get psychological, please. I mean, whoever sent that letter did it out of malice. They must have.
Well, who then?
Somebody malicious.
Who?
Just about everybody.
Who?
Well, all right, to name but a few, Mrs. Sharples.
Yeah, she did try to warn me not to have you calling. It's just a first street, that, isn't it? Yeah, I can just see her. Dear Kenneth.
Hey, hang on. Elsie Tanner were just as bad. Mind you, she's jealous.
Well, you can't say that about Miss Nugent. She tried to put her oar in as well.
Fancy, I thought Emily was everybody's friend.
They're all women, aren't they?
It's a woman's trick, love.
Who do you think it could be?
Who do you?
Well, Elsie comes into the same category as Maggie. She's a friend. Miss Nugent does too, I suppose.
That leaves Mrs. Sharples.
It always does, doesn't it?
Everything okay?
Better than the flying horse.
Yes?
By the way, I like your dress.
Well, I'm surprised she's still here myself, Mrs. Walker. Don't worry, Mrs. Ogden. Her days, indeed her hours, are numbered. Of course, it's insecurity, you know. When a woman has to flaunt herself like she does. Really? I've never needed to. No? No. I mean, take the night I met my Stan, for instance. I was wearing a coat made out of a dyed army blanket. And do you know what I had round my neck? No idea, I'm sure. A string of cockle shells painted silver. But my Stan fell for me, like a sack of spuds. Quite remarkable. Will you excuse me a moment? The day I have to look like that to attract the fellas is the day I give up the struggle as a female fatal.
Not much evidence yet that we shall have to post houseful signs.
Give her a chance, Mum. It's just gone 12.
I'll give her until tonight, which is not only being generous, it is being prodigal. Welcome, stranger. I said welcome home, Len.
Oh, thank you, love. You know, it's a great move, was that?
Oh, it's sweet, Mrs. Walker, sweet.
Pardon?
Putting Bet Lynch behind the bar.
She's like a beacon.
You know, where do those pumps go together like Morecambe and Wise?
Like S and X.
Hello, Mr. Fairclough. Talk about being a stranger.
Hello, darling.
Hey, I thought you were supposed to be worn out.
One up to me, Mum, wouldn't you say?
Len Fairclough's never had any taste. As for Ray Langton, he's pure bottom end of town.
Yes, Mum. My dinner's ready, is it?
Which one of them did you want to see? Thanks for the information.
It wouldn't be Gary Strauss you wanted, would it?
Never heard of him.
Oh, that's all right. Love is on a flaming jam pot.
It's whatever bus, love. I'm sorry to say, me never ever having been a jam pot.
Well, if she's a jam pot, I'm a whipped cream walnut. You've got a customer.
Oh, yes, love. Pale ale, please. Yes, surely. Day for keeping your vest well down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. 1 and 9. Tart. Tart.
Do you know Joe Tonelli?
Well, I should, love. He's in here enough.
He's not here now.
No. Well, you can see.
There's not another room.
Not in use, love. Not at dinner time.
They'll have to wait then, won't I?
Yeah, I suppose so. But if it's heard...
I'll wait.
Oh.
Doddle, isn't it? Doddle.
I'll
It's a
say.
doddle.
Bit more practice and you'll be able to make a cup of tea.
Shall we get down to brass tacks now, Mrs. Sharples? Tell me why you really called.
Well, it wasn't telepathy nor even sixth sense. It was just something as Minnie Caldwell said. When my name was mentioned in conversation, according to her, you suddenly looked dropped on. Now, I don't like the thought of folk looking dropped on when they hear my name. It puts me on a par with somebody like Hitler.
It was you that wrote to Ken, wasn't it, Mrs. Sharples?
Wrote to Ken?
Telling him... No, perhaps that's putting it too strong. Insinuating that I was carrying on with Ray Langton.
And you think I'd do a thing like that?
Yes, I do. You think you've got some sort of divine right to pry into people's affairs, as if you were a vicar or something. But you haven't got any right to pry into my affairs or anybody else's.
Have you finished? Because if so, would you mind telling me why you think I would do a thing like this? Why you think so little of me? Because I think I've a right to know.
Well, for a start, you told me not to see so much of Ray. And you owed me one back as well.
I owed you what back?
Me writing to the council about you playing the organ.
By come, I thought I got a long memory. I'm going, Val Barlow, while I'm still in control of my temper. But let me tell you this. I might be a busybody. It's an old woman's privilege. And it stops life lying heavily on her hands. But I'm not vindictive, and I don't write poison pen letters, not to your husband or anyone else. So you're no nearer, are you?
You know, Elsie, you're wasting your time. You were born to be a barmaid.
You know, he's right. With Betty here and you in the select, Newton and Ridley's would not be able to brew enough ale to keep this pub going, I tell you.
I can see it all now. Big glittering roadhouse with a queue of buses and cars outside. And the sign over the door reading Elsie Howard licensee.
Yeah, and you standing behind the bar. Not working, just standing.
Smoking a big cigar as if you owned a fairground.
Which he will have, of course, on Elsie's profits.
You know, I suddenly feel warm all over.
Yes, well, you can just cool down again because barmaiding's too much like hard work.
Well, actually, it has its compensations, you know. I mean, you get more attention than a footballer here.
You're a different shape, darling.
Oh.
I reckon Stan Ogden will be asking to have all his meals in here when he sees you.
Stan Ogden has his meals in here every day, doesn't he? Out of a pint pot.
Excuse me.
Why won't he?
Too up to me, Mum?
I despair. I really do. What is her attraction?
You know, one of the nicest things about you, Mum,
What?
is that you really and honestly don't know.
But I do know, and I really and honestly believe I'm right.
Well, the place is certainly filling up.
Wow, doesn't she look sharp, eh?
You know, you can catch your bone here.
Hey, watch it, Yank. Leave us to our simple English pleasures.
Yeah, or I'll report you to Spyro Agnew for subverting an ally.
Oh, not to Spyro.
Yes.
Excuse me, love. Have you got a minute?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You see that girl that's just moved over there?
Yeah?
Well, she's after your buddy Joe.
After?
Asked after him.
What do you know?
What's she drinking, Miss Tilly?
Pale ale, love.
We'll have one and 2 scotch.
Yes.
I'll go and say hello. Hiya. You mind?
What do you want?
Well, I thought I might be able to help.
And what makes you think I want any help?
Well, you want to contact Joe Donnelly, don't you?
I might.
Well, we were told you did. Do you want a drink?
Don't mind if I do. Do you know where he is?
Well, not just exactly this moment. Joe's a kind of a roamer, you know.
He gets around.
Don't I know it?
What?
You wouldn't be covering up for him, would you?
Why should we want to cover up for him?
Nothing.
Now, come on, Miss,
Mosley, Jean Mosley.
Well, you can't say a thing like that and then just stop.
Well, you're his friends, aren't you?
Well, yeah, sure, we're his buddies.
Oh, well, you probably wouldn't believe me anyway.
Believe what?
That he did this. And this. And he's quite handy with his feet as well.
What, Joe did that to you?
About a fortnight since. He took me out and got drunk. Sloppy drunk, you know. When I tried to stop him, he went mad. Threatened to kill me. I think I'd have done if the old fella next door hadn't started knocking on the wall.
Oh. Why do you want to see him again? I'd have thought he'd be the last guy.
I want compensation, don't I? I've been off work ever since.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Look, try smiling a bit, will you? You look much better when you smile, you know that?
Do I?
You enjoyed a tiff?
Isn't that what young lovers are?
And old ones.
Ah, well, I haven't.
Hey, do you know who's going on this do tonight?
What do?
Oh, Greg and Gary have got tickets for somewhere.
I'm not going on any do.
Oh, I just wondered.
Maggie, you're not getting too involved with Greg, are you?
I don't think so.
It's not wise, you know.
Isn't it?
They're here today and gone tomorrow.
I can look after myself, Irma.
That's what a lot of young English girls have said.
Ah, but I'm an English woman.
But Maggie, you don't understand.
Hey, you've got some left, haven't you? You must have.
Got what left, Hilda?
Them big pickle onions.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, there you are.
Thank goodness. I think mine
Tom.
stands hooked on them, you know. I'll even have them for breakfast.
Mum,
Yes, Joe?
are you going out tonight?
Oh, well, I had thought of watching Horizon. We can get BBC too, you know. I only found out last night.
Well, do you fancy coming round here? I mean, we could have a jar and a bite of supper.
Oh, yeah, Chuck. Yeah, I'd like that. Thanks for asking. Yeah, see you later then.
You're being a good daughter all of a sudden.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
It's been a day and a half today, Bet.
You can say that again. Mind you, I'm enjoying it.
Uh-huh. How you getting on with our Annie?
Well, she's not said so much, but I felt her eyes boring in the back of my spine a couple of times. I'm Betty Turpins.
If they fire you, Bet, I'll personally call an airstrike in this pub.
She won't get fired, Joe.
Your mother's been giving me some very funny looks.
Trust your Uncle Bill. Come on.
How about another gin, Elsie?
No, thanks. If I tried to take it steady this early on. You should, too.
Life's too short to take things steady, Elsie. Believe me, I know that.
Is Mrs. Walker not about?
No, sorry, Hilda. Can I get you something?
Oh, you do work then? I mean, actually serve drinks?
Of course I do.
Oh, I thought you was done up like a Christmas tree just to ogle the fellas.
Now, Hilda, what do you want? And I'm only being civil to you because I've been told I have to.
Yeah, well, I know it doesn't come natural. I'll have 2 bottles of light ale to take out. Excuse me. You're not taking my daughter out tonight, then, eh?
Pardon?
Well, you can't be, can you, seeing as how she's asked me round?
Irma's done what?
She's asked me round for a chat and a bit of supper. I'm taking them bottles along.
Oh, I think you must have misunderstood her, Mrs. Hodge.
Oh, no, I couldn't have. She invited me personally.
Well, no, honest, Angie, we have a really big date on tonight, a really big one. Look, I'll tell you what. Let me pay for the beer. Bet?
3 and 6, love.
Okay? So long. Have a good time.
Are you stopping or what?
Well, I might as well. At least I'll be saving electricity, won't I?
Never mind, Hilda. There are worse places to spend the night.
There are better places and all.
You what?
Like New York, for instance. Just reminding you where you posted your last letter to.
What are you on about?
Oh, you'll be telling me next you never sent Ken Barlow a Dear John about Val and me?
He's had a Dear John, has he?
Far have he on, I shouldn't wonder.
And you're suggesting that I sent it?
That's right.
Ray, get out of here before I do you some harm. As big as you are, I might do you some harm.
Are you saying you never sent it?
I'm not saying anything, just beat it.
A pint, is it, Raymond?
No, I was just looking for Len. I'm not stopping. Ta-ra, Elsie.
Is so much up, Elsie?
No, we just nearly had a punch-up. Dear Johns, eh? I used to get 'em, never mind send 'em.
Geronimo.
I'm expecting me mum.
Well, apologies from dear mother, baby, but she's been unavoidably detained at the Rovers.
My mum wouldn't let me down.
Well, there is always a first time, and I know she's there because she's drinking some beer that I bought.
Well, I'll go and see her then.
No, baby, you get me a glass. Get me a glass, baby! Now, you just hold that out there. Now, steady. This whiskey is very precious stuff.
Oh, go away, please, go away.
By heck, I don't remember this place being so busy since Stan Ogden thought he'd want booze.
Reasonably full, I suppose.
Oh, come on, I'd say it was busting at the seams.
Yes, well, you always did exaggerate, Billy.
The bunyan nagging her again, is it?
Oh, no, not her bunion. Her business sense.
All I'm saying is, while she's doing all the talking, I am doing all the working.
Well, I'll have a word, Mrs. Turpin.
Yeah, well, more than the word, the boot, you know, like you promised.
I said, are you sure you're 16? I'm not joking. She looked 25.
You don't seem to have done much council work over there, Len.
What do you think I was there for?
Hello.
Don't tell me the government's still paying you.
Yes. How are you, Maggie?
Oh, I'm all right, Len.
Obviously.
Hey, me and Gareth's going down Manchester tonight.
Bully for you.
Well, aren't you jealous?
Oh, my heck, he's only taking you because I'm working.
He's not.
How will you ever know, though?
Oh, come on, Mum. Give in. She's gone down like a bomb.
Come on. So much makeup on, she looks psychedelic. Everything's wrong, in fact, everything.
But does she stay?
Have you had a word with her, Mrs. Walker? I mean, I'm rushed off my feet and there's all these glasses to do.
You were saying, Mum?
She stays, but get her to wash some glasses for Mrs. Turpin. I have got my hostess plan to consider.
Mind if I join you? Fed up with fellas talk. This is the only place left to sit.
Oh, I don't mind not to get your hand in your purse when it's your turn.
You what? You don't carry around a purse when you've got a husband in tow in a pub. It's the one advantage of having one. About the only one.
Surely there's more. I'm sorry.
Talking of husbands, you'll never guess what I've been accused of doing to Ken Barlow.
Ah, would you know?
What? He's not accused you. Not the poison pen letter.
Oh, not him. Her.
Val? Gee, that's one for the history books, isn't it?
What, you and me standing in the same dock, you mean?
Don't you think it's funny, Miss Nugent?
I think it was hilarious, apart from one small point. You see, I sent that letter to Kenneth Barlow.
Morning, Mrs. Sharples.
You wouldn't happen to sell such a thing as a wash leather, would you?
Oh, wash leather. We don't really have much of a demand for wash leathers anymore, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, you don't need to tell me that. I can tell from the mucky windows I pass between here and flat.
Well, I'll have a look in the back for you. Ah, you never know. We might have some Continental models left over from when old Ogden tried to join the common market. Single-handed.
Hello? I thought I recognised that famous profile passing my lace curtains.
Oh, so you're at it now, are you? I thought it was only old Ogden that had a spyglass in her front window.
I was only testing the weather.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it.
Well, now, what are we going to do about Ernie Bishop's an angel of the mission all? You know, the one that keeps the poison pen stuffed up her roll-ons. You said you'd sleep on it.
Well, I slept very well, thank you very much.
And?
And I don't really think it's up to us to do anything about it at all.
I'm inclined to think you're right. The ball's in our Emley's court now. I don't really see her screwing up her courage to face Val Barlow. The mood that Val's in, she'd chew her up into little balls and spit her out.
Well, she doesn't have much choice, does she? Because if she doesn't tell herself, somebody else soon will, won't they?
I thought we were going to keep us noses out of this.
Oh, not us. Ken Barlow when he comes back from Yankee Land next weekend.
Anything interesting?
Well, if you consider bills and more bills interesting.
Oh, no, thanks. I got problems enough of my own.
You know, it's enough to destroy one's faith in politicians.
Oh, what is?
The way prices keep rising anyway, no matter which party happens to be in power.
Oh, no, my mum. Wait till the yuppies take over. They're going to do away with money altogether, you know. Of course, we'll all be starving in about 12 months. And in mind, it'll free us from the curse of dreaded capitalism.
You're an early bird this morning, Mrs.
Yeah.
Stoughton.
More than can be said for some folks I could mention.
I'm afraid the significance of that remark rather escapes me.
Let me give you a little clue, then. Blonde hair, dangling earrings and a neckline right down to her ankles.
Well, according to my Billy, Miss Lynch's natural charms are a business asset to this establishment.
It's not her natural charms I'm on about.
I'm sorry, Betty, but if you have some private grievance against Bet Lynch, you really will have to sort it out amongst yourselves.
It isn't private, it's public, or it soon blooming well will be if I don't get some satisfaction. Now, look, am I or am I not, by virtue of long and faithful service, senior barmaid in this pub?
Well, Billy, you're the one who considers Miss Lynch indispensable to our little team. Would you like to answer that question?
Thanks, Mother.
Ah, that the lot, then?
Yeah, thanks, Maggie.
Sure.
Is Irma in?
Oh, she's just making a cup of tea. Do you want her for something?
No, nothing in particular. Is she all right?
How do you mean?
Well, I think what Greg means is she's kind of jumpy, isn't she?
Jumpy?
Yeah, you know, nervous for some reason when we're around.
Well, now you come to mention it. Yeah, she has been a bit on edge lately. Still, I can't think it's anything to do with you. Mind you, she's been a bit odd on and off like before.
Odd?
Well, since Davy was killed. I mean, you don't get over a thing like that in a minute. I don't know. Perhaps seeing a lot of one fella again brings it all back. Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Charlie, we've been looking everywhere for you.
Ah, they seek him here, they seek him there, they seek the Nelly everywhere. Look, what do you guys feel about tangling with a man with a golden arm and a quick game of poker?
No, not for me.
Sure, why not? But look, Joe, I mean, if you just want to give your hard-earned cash away, I mean, why go through the formality of a game, huh?
That's what I like about you, Flint, this overbearing modesty.
Yeah, well, that's what most people find attractive about me, Joe.
Okay, so where do we play?
Well, there's always the flat. I'm sure Emma wouldn't mind.
Sure, Irma wouldn't mind what?
Oh,
if
baby,
the,
you wouldn't mind if the boys and I used the flat for a little game of poker now, would you?
No.
Yeah. Come on, let's go separate the men from the boys.
Hey. Thanks, Irma.
Thanks, baby.
You all right?
Of course. I'm sorry I've spilt some in your saucer.
Are you sure you're all right?
Oh, I said I'm all right, haven't I? Why shouldn't I be?
Wouldn't it be a good idea to read what's inside first?
Don't think so.
Why?
Well, my little demonstration would have lost its point then, wouldn't it? Anyway, I don't need to read it. I've heard what it's got to say live at £2 a minute.
I saw Elsie Tanner. She laughed at me.
So nobody wrote a letter. There never was a letter. I invented the whole thing, the row, the telephone call, everything. Do you know what really gets me? I mean, more even than Ken being stupid enough to make a phone call about it. It's that lot out there making a 5-course meal out of it.
Well, you know how it is, love. Having a lovely-looking lad like me, a gorgeous girl like you, in close proximity. Well, I mean, they're bound to put 2 and 2 together, aren't they?
Are they?
But what I mean is, why do you think it's always the muckiest Sunday papers as always sell the most copies, eh? It's 'cause it's much more fun reading the worst about somebody instead of the best, isn't it?
All right. If they want something to talk about, let's give them something to talk about, shall we?
You what?
What are you doing at dinner time?
Well, I'm going to the Rovers, why?
Right, well, you can take me for a drink. 2 drinks.
Oh, now, hang on a minute,
Unless,
darling.
of course, you're ashamed to be seen about with me in case people start talking.
Well, no, but...
Okay. Nah, it's too rich for me.
I'll see you.
Okay, queens, aces.
Come on, this is crazy.
Come on, man, let's play some more cards.
Look, we didn't come here to play cards, Joe. How much longer do you think you can get away with this?
Now, what is it with you guys? We're having a good time, and all of a sudden you pull out the "your country needs you" routine.
Look, it's not just you that's involved, Joe. It's other people.
What people?
This girl, Joe.
What girl?
Irma!
You just lost me, fella.
Look, have you seen her lately, how she is?
Of course I seen her. I saw her half an hour ago.
I don't mean that, Joe. I mean the way she's been acting.
Look, you're losing me again, buddy.
He's right, Joe. What's with that kid? Jumpy, nervous all the time?
And a kook? Well, all right, I dig her. Maybe that's why I dig her. Brings out my protective instincts.
Okay, Joe, okay, so be protective. But go back to the Army first and straighten things out, and then come back and be protective.
Look, neither you or the MPs or nobody is going to persuade me to go back to that man's army.
Burtonwood? Yeah, this is Major Ryan's office. Who wants him? Oh, hang on, I'll see if he's free to speak.
Ryan. Okay, put him through. Hey, Scotty, how are you? How's Germany? What? Down to 16, but I'm working at it. What can I do for you? Uh-huh. Greg Flint and Gary Strauss. Sure, I know them. They served under me before they went to Germany. Oh? Hang on, I just want to make a note. The what hotel? Yeah, I got it. Well, what's the problem? For how long? How bad are the injuries? Okay, look, leave this with me. We'll see what we can do, and as soon as we get something, I'll call you. Yeah, right. Hey, cello.
Yes, sir?
This is the leave address of Greg Flint and Gary Strauss. Call them. I want to see both of them over here as soon as possible. And tell them it's urgent.
How about that guy, huh?
Impenetrable.
What gets into a guy like that anyway? No neurotic tendencies? He's just a straightforward, ordinary, sensible sort of a guy. And all of a sudden he takes off. Bingo, just like that.
Can I get you something, Mrs. Ogden? Like an ear trumpet or a hidden microphone?
No, thank you.
Right.
Hello?
Oh, no, not you. Look, I need you right now like I need a hole in the head.
You said you'd be in touch. I'm still waiting.
Well, I've been kind of busy, you know?
Well, where is he then?
Well, we haven't seen him lately. We don't know.
Oh?
Look, baby, so you got roughed up a bit. Okay, it's all over now. So why don't we just have a drink and forget the whole thing?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't
Well,
you?
do you want a drink?
No, no, thanks. I just want to see Joe Danelli.
Nice weather we're having for this time of the morning.
You are?
They say it's coming in from all directions.
Pardon?
Forget it.
Just don't disturb her if I were you, love. A man's what you might say elsewhere.
Compensation?
That's right.
What if there isn't any?
Oh, well, then I'll have to put the bobbies on him, won't I?
Okay. So what's the asking price for a beat-up tart these days, huh?
Well, I wouldn't know, would I? It doesn't happen to me every day.
20?
20? I've been off work for 2 weeks.
You heard what he said.
Right.
The nights here in Bambi.
Hang on. Look, am I getting in your way, or are you getting in mine?
I would have said some things speak for themselves.
Ladies, before you start chucking glasses at each other, can we sort out this little difference of opinion between you
Not a
two?
matter of opinion, it's a matter of status.
Status?
Yeah, well, you see, it has been pointed out to the management that one of you has got a bit more service in than the other.
Oh, give me a funny hat and call me a Chelsea pensioner.
So we have decided that to avoid future heartache, you will be the private and Betty will be the lance corporal.
Does that mean she's getting more money than me?
No, but it does mean that she enjoys certain privileges.
What privileges?
Well, you see, if somebody's getting drunk, for instance, and making a nuisance of himself, Betty has the privilege of kicking him out.
Oh. Oh, well, that's all right, then.
Excuse me.
What's all this about, Miss Nugent?
Merely the details of our Christmas trip this year, December the 23rd. First-class seats at the Opera House, followed by a meal at a Chinese restaurant. The overall cost, 45 shillings.
Well, it's the first I've heard of it.
Yes, well, she's had a lot of other things on her mind just lately, haven't you, Miss Nugent?
If anyone does require tickets, you all know where I can be found.
Well, what about it? Cinderella, December 23rd.
Cinderella? Hundreds of screaming kids tipping ice cream down the back of your neck?
Come on, it's only once a year.
You must be dead daft. All right, I will if you will.
Come on, let's have a drink.
Shall we sit down then?
No, I think I'd rather stand at the bar.
You'll be playing fives and threes with your Uncle Albert and spitting in the sawdust next, won't you?
All right.
I'm having a pint of bitter. What are you having?
I'll have a gin and tonic if it's all the same to you. A large gin and tonic.
I suppose you wouldn't prefer a bottle of pop or an economical bag of crisps now. Betty! Yeah. Pint of bitter and a large gin and tonic.
That's the Victoria Hotel? You have a couple of American servicemen there, Sergeants Flint and Strauss? Yeah, could I speak to them, please? Oh, well, do you know when they'll be back? Did they leave a number? Oh, good. Can I take that?
Wonderful thing, school dinners.
Oh, marvellous, Elder. I mean, it gives you the whole day to fly a kite in, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, of course, it's not everybody that wants to fly their kites.
Or has got a kite worth flying. Or for that matter, has got a kite to fly at all.
Hello? Yes, it is. Who? Oh, yes, hang on a minute. Greg, it's for you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Lucia. Hello, Flint here. Hey, Uccello. How are you, boy? Ryan. Major Ryan? It's Uccello over at Burton Wood. He says Major Ryan wants to see us over there right away.
What for? Does he know?
Yeah. Yeah, Uccello, sure. Okay, fine, we'll see you. It's urgent, the man says.
I didn't quite catch all of it, you know, not actually listening deliberately on purpose, like. But if you ask me, there's something very funny going on there.
How do you mean funny?
Well, there was this woman come in for a start. Oh, she was a right able dealer, I can tell you. Demanding compensation.
Compensation for what?
Injuries. And I'll tell you something else and all. She got it, 20 quid of it. Yeah, well, I'd best go and get your dad's dinner, Anne. Nice morning.
Yeah. Well, hiya, Red Riding Hood. You're on your own?
No, Maggie's in the back. I'll go and tell her you want her. Maggie!
Thanks. Is Joe still around?
No, he went out about half an hour ago.
Oh, hello, Greg.
Well, hi, Maggie. Hey, what's with her? Tell me something. Have I got horns growing out of my head?
Oh, not that I've noticed. You haven't come round here just to ask me that.
No, I came to tell you that Gary and I won't be able to make it for tea this afternoon. We were called over to Burton Wood. But, well, I don't know. Maybe it's my ebullient personality, huh?
Irma again?
Yeah.
hello. I'm afraid whatever it is, it'll have to wait, because I've got to pick the kids up from school.
I'm afraid it can't wait any longer. The first thing I want to say is I realise how misguided I was now. Well-intentioned, of course, but quite in the wrong to do what I did.
You're not trying to tell me what I think you're trying to tell me.
I'm afraid that's just what I am trying to tell you. Yes.
You?
I'm sorry.
Sorry? I should think you are sorry.
It all started because I couldn't help noticing what was going on.
But nothing was going on.
Oh, I realise that now, just as I realise it wasn't any of my business, even if there had been. Only Ken was away, and Ray Langton does have something of a reputation, and I just thought, well, some marriages have to work. Life isn't totally cynical. I simply felt I just couldn't stand by and watch somebody like Ray Langton wreck yours. Oh, like I say, I know now it was quite unforgivable of me, but if you could... You see, one might say it's an occupational hazard of my unmarried... I do...
Oh, Miss Nugent, honestly.
You know, that still bothers me.
What? The broad with the bruises?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, but we didn't even know Joe knew her.
Well, so what's the difference? Look, if she'd have called the cops, there would have been curtains for Joe anyway.
Oh, hi, fellas.
Hey, Uchella, how are you, boy?
Hi.
Hey, how's your old bowling arm these days, huh?
Oh, man, I'm getting too old for bowling. You know, last week, even my wife beat me.
Boy, you are getting old. Huh?
Say, Major Ryan's over the other side of the base. Take the weight off your feet.
Okay, thanks.
So what's all this about, Uchella?
Oh, come on, fellas, I only work here. Like I said, Ryan gets this call from Saarbrücken, Germany this morning. Then he wants you here, quick.
Right, well, is there anything else?
No, thanks, love. I think that'll do to be going on with.
Right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Thought you looked a bit peaky, that's all.
Well, it's the time of the year, isn't it? Elsa, can I ask you a funny question?
It's a free country, isn't it?
Do you ever think about him anymore, Steve Tanner-like?
Yeah. Well, you said it was going to be a funny question, didn't you?
Well, I don't mean so much as him like, but the way they found him, you know, what really happened.
I stopped wondering about that a long time ago.
Why's that?
Well, keep wondering about things like that, it leads you in some funny directions. And to some funny conclusions.
Well, if it isn't my childhood sweetheart, the one who used to scribble my name up on every air raid shelter.
Hello, Lynn. Bye.
Hey, come here, I want to talk to you.
I can't. Got a hungry husband at home that's banging on the table with his spoon.
You know, I think I'll find somebody younger who's looking for somebody older. I'm beginning to realize I'm losing my fatal attraction for the opposite sex.
You're lucky.
How are things going then?
Oh, not so bad, love. Now certain persons have been put in their place. But hang on.
Age before beauty.
Pearls before swine.
Dear, there are times behind this bar when I know exactly how Jack Scamp must feel.
Oh, I shouldn't worry about it, Mrs. Walker. Best of friends often start off best of enemies.
Hey, what's all this about us going to the Panto at Christmas? I thought we were having a nice concert like we did last year.
Well, apparently no one was doing anything about it, so Miss Nugent took the initiative and made a block booking for the pantomime. Well, all we have to see now is if sufficient people turn up to fill the seats.
Hello, Miss Nugent. Looking for a pen pal, are we? Stateside. Grab a chair, I'll get a drink.
Yeah, you run a garage, don't you?
Wrong. He only owns the garage. I run it. Take a notice. The mate here only works in the vineyard. I was the one who actually planted the flipping grapes. Why?
Well, you're not looking for a good mechanic, are you?
He's got a good mechanic. What my mucker here is trying to say is that it already cost me a small fortune trying to keep the wolf away from his door. And 2 wolves is just about all the business to stand at the moment. What sort of stuff do you handle?
Well, anything. I was in the army, the motor pool in the army.
Right, well, the next time my mate here starts getting stroppy about me ruining his love life, keeping him working late hours, I'll know where to come, won't I?
What did you say that to her for?
Come on, she was asking for it. Look, you know what's the trouble with you is, don't you? You're too soft.
Well, if it had been anybody else, I'd probably have bitten her head off, but she just stood there like a sacrificial lamb, and I just couldn't, that's all.
Yeah, well, it's all right for you, isn't it? I mean, I'm the one that's going to get his block knocked off by Ken next weekend when he gets home.
Oh, don't be so daft. I'll sort it out with him as soon as he arrives. It's not Ken I'm worried about. It's Ina and Elsie and everybody else I've been slandering.
Well, I suppose I could always buy them a drink. If that'll make you feel any better.
Will you?
Your wish is my command.
Oh, thanks, Ray.
Mrs. Tanner will have a gin and tonic and I'll have a milk stout, thank you very much. You think yourself lucky you got off that lightly.
You've been listening again, haven't you, Mrs. Sharples?
We have X-ray ears round here, lad.
Yes. Well, I suppose this is what's called settling out of court, is it?
What's all this in aid of?
Conscience money, lass. You're getting a drink out of it.
Maggie, you haven't seen Gary or Greg around anywhere, have you?
What, didn't you know?
No.
Well, something came up. They've been called over to Burton Wood straight away.
Really?
So, how's Germany? How are the Fräuleins?
Well, we do what we can, sir, to cement U.S.-German relations.
I'll bet. So you're not exactly panting to get back here, huh?
Oh, I don't know, sir. I guess old Burton Wood will always be a bit special for all of us. Huh?
Yeah. Joe Donnelly. You guys are buddies of his, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know he's gone AWOL?
Yes, sir. He just took off a couple of days before we left.
Any idea where?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You haven't seen him since?
No, sir.
That's a pity.
Hi, baby. Nice?
Yes, it's very nice.
Well, let's see, where we put it. We put it over here or back here?
If you like.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think it looks nice over there. Well, you've got it.
Hey, look, I got this. We're going to decorate the tree. I thought we'd do it together tonight. It's nice.
Yeah. Oh, nothing for me, thanks.
You know, we had a Christmas tree when I was a kid. Big one. Covered the whole corner of one room. I guess that Christmas tree was about the most beautiful thing that I ever saw. Well, my mother, she used to nag. Nag, nag, nag. All the time. And he used to sit in that chair and he used to take it night after night. Well, one night, Christmas Eve, I guess he had a couple of drinks, and she was nagging away, and he just he got up, and he smacked her right into the tree. God, what a mess there was. Tree lying all over that room, broken glass. And she didn't even get a scratch. My Christmas, baby.
Is that all, sir?
Yeah, that's all. Enjoy your leave.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Flint.
Sir?
If you should run across Donnelly,
Yes, sir.
get in touch right away, huh? Only, this is confidential. It's not just a case of his being AWOL anymore. I got a call from Germany this afternoon. Seems there's this German woman in the hospital in Saarbrücken. She's been unconscious for the last 3 weeks. She came around today. Her story is that she got her injuries from an American serviceman who had too much to drink and then seemed to go... She used the word geisteskrank, sick in the soul.
Joe?
That's all.
Sorry, Val. Gordon on the phone.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, it is nearly 11. Fine thing if you're not there.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, he is coming back from America.
I think it might serve him right. Did I take the sherbet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought you sorted it out.
Well, Ken doesn't know that.
We have, though.
Not with Ken.
So?
So, I think I might teach him a lesson. That phone call rankles even now.
You should have been flattered.
Flattered?
Yeah, well, it showed he cares.
Oh, Maggie, if he could even think those
Hey,
things.
Val!
I mean, think them, let alone believe
The taxi's come!
What?
He's here across the street!
Oh, go on with you. I'll see to these.
What's up with you?
Ah, look at that, Irma. Just look at it.
Yeah, Ken's back.
Just like when your father got demobbed. Together again after all them lonely months and days and nights.
Yeah.
It's only a memory now. Oh, by you, of course. Oh, yeah. You've got demobbed to thank.
Thank? You must be joking, man.
Yeah, but we told Ryan we hadn't seen him. We can't go back on that.
Yeah, no, but this German business changes things, eh? I mean, no wonder he took off.
Do you think he beat her up?
Well, Brian said that this German dame woke up in hospital in Germany and claimed that Joe beat the hell out of her.
Yeah, but did he?
No, he quit. What bothers me is, does he make a habit of it?
Yeah, then there's this other girl, you know? The gimme, Jean Mosley.
Yeah, that's right.
We know Joe.
But do we?
Well, you were the one that said we ought to come over here.
No, I know, but that was before Ryan, before this Saarbrücken thing.
We can't go back on what we said.
I got news for you, kid. We can. Maybe we should. Look, Gary, I mean, we tried to bring Joe in. Tell him that, we're in the clear, huh?
I think we should try again.
Well, now who's changing his mind? Up until now, you were the hard guy.
I still think we should try again.
Look, Ryan's no fool. He knows we're mixed up in this.
One more try. It's only fair to Joe.
Well, all of a sudden, you're really concerned for the guy, aren't you?
Aren't you?
Well, I was. I was, but now I don't know.
Well, he helped me once.
Okay. Okay, Gary. We'll try. Once more.
I think he's tried to take advantage, that's what I think.
Oh, never.
Well, she's a very attractive girl, you know. And also, she is my daughter.
Yeah, all right. Okay, if it was you, then if he tried, you know...
Me?
yeah.
Oh, I'd send him packing.
Well, there's your answer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose she would. She's very like me in that respect.
You wanted to get with it, all that MIDI Reformation bit just before I left.
You didn't like it.
No. You seem doubtful.
No, it's lovely. Thank you. Besides, I am very with it, didn't you know? Okay.
They'll like them, won't they?
Oh, yes, they'll go wild.
All right, I've got all these badges efforts somewhere in here for them.
How did he go on with the washing?
Mrs. Margolis.
Who?
Stephen's wife, I told you. He sort of took me under his wing, looked after me.
Oh. And his wife joined in?
You bet. Their hospitality, love. Oof, it really is something, believe me.
Well, we don't do so badly over here. Then again, you know that too, don't you? Are you, going to college?
What?
College.
Yes, I thought I might go in now. Then I could be back before the kids get home.
Well, I'll see that you do.
Well?
Well, I know you. You'll get started on your generation gap and your Middle East side.
The Lower East Side. Well, I'll tell you all about it later, eh? You know, I haven't begun yet.
Well, I'm not running away.
You think we should let them have them all at once?
Oh, save some for Christmas, you mean?
Oh, that's a thought.
Well, I don't see you try and hide anything, not in this place.
It's great to be back, love.
Go on, you'll be late.
You're sure, then?
You just set them down here.
They're in the fashion now, you know. Young Lucille's got some just the same.
You leave them with me, Cinderella.
Cinderella?
Ah, Cinderella. Someone knocks at the door. Might be the prince.
You are a funny man. I like you, though. It's your buddies.
You're learning fast, Miss Caldwell.
Well, you have to, haven't you? Even at my age.
I heard you guys have been to Burton Wood.
Right.
You give my love to Ryan?
No.
Oh, good. That's good.
Oh, you didn't like him then, Mr. Ryan?
Well, he's no friend of mine.
Oh, well, they can't be friends with everybody.
Are you talking about that? Weren't you kind of going out? Eat?
Oh, yes, with Ina, but I hadn't quite decided.
Yeah, well, I think it might be best in the interest of good relations.
Oh, well, if you advise it. Joe's my advisor. He's good at giving advice.
Not always good at taking it, though, eh?
Oh, well, that's a very common fault, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll see you to the door, Mrs. Cole.
Oh, thank you.
Remember, Greg, just one more chance.
Yeah, I remember.
Just don't lean too hard.
Thanks, kid. I agree.
Joe, we shelled out $50 the other day just to pacify this doll of yours.
Oh, Irma?
Oh, Gene Mosley.
Oh, that broad.
Why, does Irma need pacifying?
No, Irma's all right.
Well, this Gene Mosley's pretty upset. She said you beat her up.
One lousy slap across the face.
Why?
Something she said. It's personal. Not nice. Not flattering. You know.
Did you have to hit her?
One lousy slap, $50. Oh, come on, Greg, you know the type. All right, I should have let it ride. I guess it's my pride.
Well, Ryan's onto you, Joe.
Well, you said...
Not through us.
Ryan's onto you, boy. Look, why don't you give yourself up, Joe? I mean, why do you still got a chance? What the hell's holding you back? Absent without leave. That's not much of a rap.
All right. All right. Look, there's something else you guys don't know about. Abroad again. A German dame.
Hildegard Schmidt. Sure. That's why Ryan hauled us in. Yeah. She's called you out, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that she just might.
Joe, this time it was more than a slap, huh?
Right, but it wasn't me. I found her in flat. She's in a bad way. Bad way. Look, I knocked around with her for about a month or so. And her fella didn't like it very much.
You mean he did it?
Well, of course he did it.
Why is she accusing you?
I don't know, to protect him. She's crazy. She only went with me to get at him. These crowd broads make you sick. You show me one that isn't all snarled up. I mean, you know they're ready to break down compared to men?
Forget the psychology, eh, Joe?
Well, who's keeping the hay shrinkers in business? You? Me?
All right, tell that to Ryan.
Ryan?
Sure! You got a case there. Tell it to Ryan. Look, boy, the longer you leave this, the worse it gets. Come on, Joe. Stop thinking with your feet, huh?
Oh, what does Junior think about it?
I agree with Greg.
Oh, great friends.
Look, it's for your own sake, stupid. Can't you see that?
Look, we don't want to do it the hard way, Joe.
Look, will you get off my back? Will you get off? Gary. In the corner, man.
Turn it in, Joe.
Oh, I can't. Not now.
So that's Christmas Day sewn up. We get the food, the two women cook.
Highly convenient.
I'm sorry, Ray. It's not.
Well, I don't mind.
No, I'd rather not tie myself up.
Leonard, I think Maggie might be having guests.
One guest?
Yes, that's right.
I spy with my little eyes somewhat beginning with gut.
A guest?
Perhaps.
Excuse me, everybody. The nuisance is here again.
How much?
£2 and 5 shillings, everything, all in.
And indigestion pills.
Positively everything, all in, and all means everything.
It's not altogether, is it? Altogether in
And
the...
you are droll. Mrs. Clegg.
Well, I don't know what my plans are yet.
It would be open to outsiders, if that's not a tactless remark.
Is it?
No. I'll ask him when I get a chance.
But not yet, eh, love?
What do you say?
It stinks.
Well, I certainly wound up.
Have you ever seen Joe really tight?
I can hold his liquor.
With us. With us, he can hold his liquor.
Look, I don't like this anymore, Greg. I want out. If I could just take him on the plane. 1, 2, okay, but not this deal.
Okay, look, we'll give it till tonight, eh? You go and see Mrs. Caldwell, but don't frighten her. Just tell her to go easy.
Yeah?
I'll go and see Irma. And I think there's something bugging her.
Yeah.
Boy, I thought she was a case.
Thanks, Betty.
Yeah, lovely. Anything wrong?
Oh, no, just Len being disagreeable. Nothing to fuss about.
I'm sorry, love, I'm sorry. No, I can't do it. I'll tell you what, I've got to see any bishop later on, so I'll come round this afternoon and pay you, eh?
Oh, not after 4, I'm afraid. I'm invited out to tea.
Now, there's a thing. Chuchy Face here wants an hour off. He's going out to tea.
That's right.
Oh. May I ask where you're going?
Shea Barlow's.
Oh.
Hey, hang on.
That's right, Raymond. I'm going to the Barlows, too.
Hi. What's wrong with their beakers, then?
Sorry?
Susan Peters' beakers.
Oh, no, they're going to Mrs. Castle's for tea. She'll pick them up with her lot after school.
Then,
We've come to tea. I suppose it's to welcome you home.
welcome home. Thank you.
Aren't the children back from school?
No. No. Oh, well. Looks as if it's adults only, then.
Yes, it does.
Well, come on, everybody. Sit down. Make yourselves at home.
Do you, Susan?
Okay.
With a chair.
Yeah.
Oh, I say. Well,
Oh, sorry, love. Didn't I tell you they've come to tea?
well, my favourite scones.
I've told you once.
Look, it's all right. I don't want Joe.
Well, you don't want to talk to me.
Well, correction. I do.
Well, I'm busy.
Joe bought you the tree?
Yeah, well, the other one got broke.
Look, Irma, has Joe scared you at all? Hurt you in any way?
No,
Or do I scare you?
you're his friend.
Yeah.
Well, there you are, then.
I don't get you.
Oh, look, if you want to say something, say it. Just stop messing me about.
Look, Irma, Joe's on the run. Now, we tried to bring him in, Gary and I, but he wouldn't budge. There's a German woman in hospital in Germany who claims that Joe put her there. And then there's a local dame here.
Well, I don't know why you're telling me all this.
Well, maybe I'm worried about you.
You, that's a laugh.
Don't you believe me?
Well, like I said before, you're his friend and you've known about it all the time and you still haven't done anything.
Known about what? Look, I mean, we only heard all about it yesterday from Ryan.
You knew about Steve Tanner.
Steve? What's he got to do with it? Knew about what?
You don't know, do you? He only said that so I wouldn't say now. I think I'd better tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
It was him that killed Steve Tanner. He pushed him down the stairs.
He told you that?
Yes, when he was drunk in here, he said it.
Well, that guy must be sick to say that he killed Steve Tanner.
Yes, but he did.
No. Look, he and Gary were together that night. What, they alibied for each other. They were both cleared.
But he's told me he did it.
What the hell's gotten into that guy's head?
You see, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't...
It's okay, Anna. Look, don't worry. Just take care of yourself, but don't worry. We'll handle it.
Will you?
Yeah, sure. Sure we will.
No, it's true. It's true. I was walking along Wall Street, minding my P's and Q's, dressed sort of casually, you know, well, not too clean. And this chap comes up to me and says, take a bath. Me, a hippie? I mean, do I look like a hippie? And then Stephen, Margolis, he took me on one side and advised me to get a haircut as a member of the staff.
Ken, you're not eating?
No, I'm talking, aren't I, love? Isn't that what you want me to do?
No, I'd like you to listen. I'd like Ray and Miss Nugent to talk.
Eating.
Well, I'd like you to talk to Ken. I don't mind which of you goes first, and please don't anybody ask me what about, because we all know what about, don't we? Ray?
Well, ladies first.
I'm not sure what...
Just a simple statement.
Yes, well, I did write. I wrote.
To Ken, if you don't mind.
I wrote to you in America, not because I believed in what was being said, but because I thought someone else might write who did believe it in... And I wanted to avert... But I really must be going, you know. Ernest's waiting for me.
Miss Nugent did not believe the rumour.
Oh, no, I had faith.
She had faith. Unfortunately, Miss Nugent, my husband, to whom I've been married for 8 years, did not. Now, just Ray, and then everyone can go.
Well, Squire, it's like this. You see, you said keep an eye on the missus, which I did. Just a couple of driving lessons, which hardly left me ecstatic, if I may say.
You'd seen what he had to put up with.
Agony, Squire. And if you'd see our pad, well, it is hardly conducive to eating fish and chips.
Because it was largely the fish and chips that largely caused I really do have to go, because Ernest must be hopping.
Fair cloth too.
So soon. Please don't bother to see us out. And thank you for a lovely tea.
Oh, yes, thank you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Right, well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do I get a say?
Yes, go on.
I phoned you from America about the letter.
letter?
Yes, about the letter, indeed, and about things in general. And you hung up. You did hang up.
Yeah, but if you want to know, I was livid. I still am livid.
Why? And why this performance?
I've told you, because I still am livid.
Still? Look, I was reasonable, and I wrote a letter and apologized.
Oh, did you?
You read the letter?
Yeah.
No, you did read the letter.
Yeah.
Well?
Oh, Ken. I tore it up. I thought it'd be a... Oh, Ken.
That's what you call a right hash of things, isn't it? What you might call a storm in a teacup.
All those scones.
Hope it gives them both bellyache.
Well, you don't blame me.
Moral? Never abandon the wife.
Please. Not again.
Hi.
You were a long time up there.
Well, yeah. Something cropped up. Look, I can't tell you right now, Maggie. Maybe later, huh?
Is it Joe and Irma?
Yeah, thereabouts.
They're, going through a sticky patch. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that.
Are we?
We?
Yeah.
Not as far as I know.
Well, you weren't exactly friendly in the Rovers this dinner.
What, were you there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was.
It just goes to show you, doesn't it? You know, I didn't even... Well, honest, Maggie, see, I had things on my mind.
You must have done. Will you come to dinner on Christmas Day?
What? Here?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
You got no other plans?
No, I haven't. Sure, no, I'd like to. Yeah, sure, if I'm still here, I would. I'd like to.
Well, you can.
I don't know what you're saying, Irma, but it doesn't sound very nice to me.
No, well, I mean, just think, Mrs. Caldwell, you know, when they've been in the army a long time, well, sometimes they can go a bit funny.
Joe's been very nice to me. I'm very fond of him.
Aye, well, that's another thing, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to get too fond, do you, in case he has to go away?
Well, I'd like to know what's going on, because you're trying to upset me.
I'm not, honest.
Oh, yes, you are.
Hey, what's all this?
Oh, Joe, Irma's been saying things about you.
Well, that's all right, as long as they're sweet.
But they're not. About you being drunk and not being nice to ladies.
Oh, I never said that.
No, but Gary did. Oh, yes, he's been here as well, saying things, and it gets me worried.
Ah, look, it's all right. Look, I'm a lady killer, that's all they mean.
Oh.
You should be flattered with it.
Well, I didn't see it like that. I thought they were being nasty.
You're not being nasty, are you, baby? See? Well, how'll be I go fix up that coal?
Oh, would you?
Mm-hmm. You just sit down there.
Oh, it's burning like we're in for snow.
Snow? You people don't know the meaning of that word.
Right, Mrs. Caldwell, I think I'll be getting back now.
I think you owe Joe an apology.
Oh, it's all right. There's all the time and a place.
Imagine him saying a crazy thing like that, eh? That he killed Steve.
Crazy.
Sure, what else?
Not so crazy.
Oh, come on, Gary. Oh, you testified. You were with him that night.
I don't know where he was. I couldn't say.
What? Well, Gary, boy, if I'm reading you right.
Yeah, you are. I said he helped me once. Well, that was it. I hadn't got an alibi. I was at the fights, alone. Who'd believe that? So I asked Joe what to do, and he said we'd alibi each other. So we did. When I think about it.
You mean that you don't know where he was?
Not until now.
I shouldn't be late unless Greg wants to go into town.
Will you lock up the outside, Maggie?
Is Joe not coming?
No, not tonight, and I don't feel like going out.
I see.
Maggie?
Yeah?
You won't forget, will you?
No. I'm just an old-fashioned girl.
Millionaire.
Umbrella.
Keep both your feet on the floor, sir.
Yes, but why are you all
right, Mrs. Sharp?
Yes, well, nobody else.
Been looked after
very well.
And where's it going to be
Emily,
now?
hustling again. She'll have you, okay, and watch her.
Keep trying.
Another drink, boys. Another drink.
The guy's a nut.
Yeah.
He's gotta be a nut.
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you think he did it?
Cool, will you? You don't have to spell it out loud and clear.
Look, I want to know, Greg, do you think that Joe killed Steve?
Yes, I do.
Aye, aye.
Hello. Did Maggie just let you in then?
Well, I sort of sneaked in just before she went out. What was that you said? Oh, yeah. Dangerous to women. So? Dangerous to women. And why?
Oh!
It's all over the floor, you see. I mean,
What were you thinking of catching then? Tonsillitis?
Oh, yeah, what was that?
What now?
Now we get in touch with Ryan again. We're getting in too deep, Gary boy. I want to get out before it's too damn late. What's the matter?
Well, that really screws me up, doesn't it? I gave him an alibi. I said Joe was with me when Steve got it. I mean, in that kind of weirdo court.
What, the inquest?
Yeah, I gave evidence. That's the word they used, isn't it? Evidence?
So?
Well, so as sure as God made little apples, they got a word that covers lying on the stand like perjury.
Well, what do you want to do about it then? Just, what, forget it?
Oh, I need time to figure something out.
Look, we know about the Fraulein dame. We know about this Gene Mosley dame. We know about Steve. Maybe there's more, I don't know. You need time? For what? So that the guy, this nut, can maybe kill again?
I had a good trip in America. I had a kind of good time, you know.
By heck, you're gonna need that. He's coming down like stair
Yeah, Hilda, where are you wanting something? Because I'm just off out.
No, I just want to see how Irma is. She in?
Yes,
Oh,
she
you
is.
don't mind if I...
No, of
Right.
course not. I'll just drop the catch. Now, be sure to shut the door when you go.
Yeah,
won't you?
right-o.
All right, night.
On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love said to me... That's more like it. That's it. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2... Come on, baby, hold that tight, will you, so I can... That's it. All right.
Oh!
Oh. 5th day?
5 gold rings.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love said to me, 5 gold rings.
6 soccer players.
Who all played it outside left.
All played it outside left, and also all played cricket for England, right? 6. And there's no trick.
Not only that, there's a quid for every one you get, and a quid if I can't confirm them.
It's a very decent offer and a possible maximum.
Oh, Maggie, can you spare a second?
Hello.
Sit down.
Thanks, Greg. Hello.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Hello, Gary.
Oh, no. No, not one at a time.
Are you serious because you're sober? Or serious because you're serious?
You seen Joe?
Do you mean just now or earlier on?
No, last couple of hours.
No. Well, I haven't seen him since this morning now, I come to think about it.
What about Irma? Do you know where she is? I mean, right now?
Yeah, she's up in the flat. You're asking a lot of questions.
Sorry, kid. We're just trying to locate Joe.
Well, it's not with Irma, and she's not expecting him. She told me.
Hey, I thought you said our Irma was in.
Well, she is.
She's not, you know.
Well, of course she's in. Of course she's in. Mrs. Ogden came into the shop just as I left. I let her in.
Doesn't mean Irma's in.
I was up in the flat talking to her. Or rather, she was giving me a bit of a broadside.
Yeah, I'm thinking exactly the same thing.
When you two aren't asking questions, you're talking in riddles.
You better tell her everything.
Look, Maggie, we think that Irma is in the flat. And Joe's in there with her.
Look, have you two not been listening to me? I've just left her, and she's by herself.
Oh, yeah, but you've looked them up, haven't you?
Oh, no, it's all
in the...
I see. No wonder she didn't answer.
It's not that. I wish to heck it was as harmless as that.
Look, Maggie, you know, it's just possible that...
It's more than possible.
Yeah, it's more than possible that Irma's in some kind of danger.
From Joe?
Look, we got a hunch she's in there. And if he is... Look, you better tell her everything you know, Greg. I'll be back.
Oh, you see, Rupert Deere reckons that there were 6 soccer players, all played on the left wing, and they all played cricket for England. Yeah, well, Dennis Compton's easy enough. Let's see who else we got. Bill Edrich used to play for Spurs. What's that fella, Tatlock? Fishlock. Laurie Fishlock used to play for Milburn.
All right, that's 3 you've got. Millwall. 3 you've got, leaving you 3 to get.
Millwall, you did right, yeah. 6. Let me have a stab at one then. Wait a minute. Used to play for Fulham. Hang on. Johnny Arnold.
Yeah.
Johnny Arnold.
4.
6.
You giving up then?
Well, I'll have to. I mean, I'm stumped.
There you are, you see. Stump. What about Leslie Ames?
Well, who'd he play for?
Clacton Orient.
You're making him up. Who's the 6th then? Go on.
Oh, the 6th. Yeah. Oh, that's, what's his name? You know, him has played for, thingammy,
you've forgotten, haven't you?
No, it's coming to me.
Patsy Hendren, inside left for Brentford. Well done, chaps. I give you a 9 out of 10 for hard work and effort.
Kill Steve. Are you sure?
It figures, maybe. All of a sudden, it figures. There's the missing piece, and it fits. Yeah, it fits.
Well, who knows about this?
3 of us and Irma.
Oh, well, I don't know. What happens now? What's the next move?
Well, we ring Ryan again. Look, do you think that you could tell the others?
Well, what good will that accomplish?
We don't want anybody wandering over there right now. We know what this guy's capable of.
Wall and Ryan will get the MPs down there. If we explain now, there'll be less confusion when they move in.
Look, will you ring Ryan, Gary? I'd like to tell Elsie myself, okay?
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Serious?
Oh, excuse me a minute,
Betty.
Yes, love.
Can I use the telephone?
Is it
please?
private, dear?
Yeah.
Well, if it is, come right the way round the pub and I'll let you in there.
Okay, thanks a lot.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice.
11. 11 what?
11. 11. I don't know.
It's cotton wool. We need cotton wool for the snow and the branches, baby. 11. What'd you say?
I said I don't know.
You frighten me? Don't Nellie scare you?
Why should you?
Well, you know a lot about me. You know more than any living person. You know quite a lot.
No, not really. Only what you've told me. Would you like a cigarette?
Maybe you know too much. You know too much, baby? Would you say that? Did you say that, baby?
Take it easy, Elsie.
Who's this Ryan he's phoning?
He's a major at Burton Wood.
Isn't that who Elsie had to see before she married Steve, for a sort of vetting or something?
Yes, that's right. That's the one. I think so, anyway.
Is, Greg still,
With Elsie.
Yeah, did you get through all right?
Yeah, the MPs are on their way.
On their way? Well, we're not just going to prop up the bar and pray, are we?
Well, Major Ryan said do nothing until the MPs get here. They're on their way.
Look, I repeat, we're not going to just prop up the bar and pray for the cavalry to arrive.
Don't dismiss prayer lightly, lass.
No, Mrs. Sharples, I'm sorry, but there's a time for prayer and a time for action.
Well, I agree with Valerie. If we do nothing and something happens, we'll never forgive. Well, doing nothing is a curse.
Well, look, my Cyril's had brushes with these pathological barm cakes, you know. I mean, they're unpredictable. Go barging in there, you never know what can happen.
No, you never know what can happen if we don't.
Are you going to that window, baby?
Yes, well, it's stifling in here, isn't it? You don't mind me opening it a bit, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, you move away from there. You move away from that window. Now move! And turn it off. Turn it off! Turn off that fire, baby.
Can I get anybody anything?
Look, if you've no idea what Irma's going through, I have. I was locked up with a bloke who was as bent as a bangle. Frank Riley, remember?
Oh, come on, we've got to do summit.
Like what?
Well, I don't know anything. Why don't we start a fight in the street or go carol singing inside the shop?
What the hell good will that do?
Well, it might create a distraction.
Only one thing it will create, that's suspicion.
Look, you're supposed to have cornered the market in brains around here.
Well, I think it's high time we had a party.
A party?
A welcome home party for Kenneth. I suppose we'd have to ask Herman and that Yankee fella she's with.
Great, Mrs. Sharples, great.
Yes,
Will you play the Joanna?
I expect so.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Listen, I'll go back and get the kids' crackers off the tree
Yeah,
and
we
make it
can
like a
get some more
party.
and get some biscuits and get some mince
Yeah,
pies and the
okay.
funny hats.
Yeah, hey, listen, you're not going, you know.
You just try and stop me.
Look, Greg, we gotta put a stop to this.
Well, you tell me how, kid. I'm receptive.
Well, okay, raise Ryan and tell him.
Tell him what?
Oh, jeepers, Greg, tell him what's going on, will ya?
Okay. Hey, Gary. Does Joe still pack a gun?
I'll put
Yes,
some
sir.
these on here.
I'm sorry, sir. Boy, this was your cute idea. You ought to hear the guy. Well, with all due respect, Major Ryan, sir, there wasn't anything that Strauss and I could do to stop him.
Hey, on them, there's more there.
Yeah, well, with further due respect, sir, Strauss and I ain't exactly a platoon. When we are on UK territory.
Hey?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, there's plenty of butter and bread if you want it. You know it's there.
What'd he say? He sends his love.
Yes, all
Oh,
right.
come on. Look, if Joe cuts out and makes a run for this, there's going to be all hell to pay. With all due respect, dog face, you and me will do the paying.
Hello, anybody out there us chicks should know?
Val! Come on, for goodness sake, you two. Stop playing so hard to get.
Okay, hang on, Val. I'll be right with you. Now, let's make this look good, Mouse. We're just in enjoying a nice, cozy evening, all right? Oh, well, we thought you might come to our party. How are you feeling now?
We've been
keeping you, eh?
You're never going to... Your bonnets and shawls, we're having a party.
A party?
Oh, right, all love.
Evil only triumphs. It never conquers.
I'll drink to that, Mrs. Sharple.
What's that supposed to mean?
What do you want, answers? It's philosophy. Oh, look, Elsie, are you
Yes.
sure you want...
All right. They're coming now.
Is Joe with them?
Yes.
Maybe this is going to work after all, huh?
You know, I reckon there's only one line to that poem. I've never heard anybody spout more than the first bit of it.
Oh, what's to do then, Chucky?
It was Christmas Day in the workhouse.
The north of Kathmandu.
There you are, you see, she doesn't even know the first line for a start. Mrs. Sharples, give us a little touch of pathos, will you, lovey? There you are, you see, cheeky madam. Right. It is Christmas Day in the workhouse. The cold, bare walls are bright, with garlands of green and holly. The place is a pleasant sight, for with clean washed hands and faces, in a long and hungry line, the paupers sit at their tables, for this is the hour they dine. The guardians and their ladies, although the wind is east, have come in their furs and wrappers to watch their charges feast, to smile and be condescending, put pudding on paupers' plates, to be hosts at the workhouse banquet that's paid for with the rates.
You know what's happening, love, don't you? Just keep it going until the MPs arrive, okay?
Again, oh, the paupers are meek and lowly, with their thank ye kindly mums, as long as they fill their stomach, no matter whence it comes. But one of the old men mutters as he pushes his plate aside, "Great God," he cries, but it chokes me, for this is the day she died.
Are you having a party or something?
Oh, Mrs. Ogden. Stan, I didn't see you come in. I'm glad you couldn't make it a bit sooner.
Well, you might know what you're on about, but I don't.
What's it in need of,
Well,
anyway?
it's Ken's welcome home party.
Hey, did you know about it?
Oh, it's news to me.
Well, I were in here not 20 minutes back. Nobody said a dicky bird about a party then. When did this lot materialise?
Oh, Hillary, I told you about it ages ago. It must have slipped your mind.
Well, where were we when you told me?
Oh, in the shop, I think.
Mr. Ogden, can I pull you a pint of bevy on the house?
Ah, well, sup up, Chuck. We'll talk about it later, eh?
Now then, what does Mrs. Ogden want? A nice schooner of sherry, medium dry, lovey?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we nearly went to the Flying Horse tonight. We only come in on the off chance our Irma might be here. Hey, Was you in when I knocked on your door about 20 minutes back? Maggie Clegg said you was in.
Well, it's all very complicated right now, Mum. I'll explain later.
Oh, you needn't bother. Me and your dad's not dense, you know. We're cotton on to things as fast as most folk.
Hello, love. What's all the celebration about?
Well, look, I've got to explain...
Look, tell me in a minute. I've got to see a man about a you-know-what.
What time is it?
8:10.
I wonder where she's got to. She's usually here before now.
Now, it's no good looking at me like this because I know what you're thinking and you can't. You'll just have to wait like everybody else and open your present on Christmas Day. You'll have to be patient and wait. Come on. Yes.
Left us a four-string gale out there. The window's wide open. Is George and Ellie still in there? No, there's nobody. Take a survival kit if you're going out there.
They're here.
Well, I wish the hell we weren't.
You just hold it, Mrs. Caldwell.
Hello, Joe. There's somebody at the door.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you just let him knock.
Oh, you can't do that.
You just let him knock, Ma.
Mrs. Caldwell! Mrs. Caldwell!
I think I ought to answer,
This
Joe.
is Detective Inspector Seabright, Mrs. Caldwell.
But he'll know I'm here from the light.
All right, turn him off. All right, he's gone.
But they'll know, though.
All right, they'll know. They're all around the back. I just saw them. Little heads bobbing up and down. Little heads. And bobbing up and down.
You've done something wrong, haven't you, Joe?
Yeah, I've done something wrong.
What have you done?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, I wish you'd tell me,
I'm not
Joe.
telling you.
Not even me?
No! Look, I'm not telling you. Are you scared of me?
No, of course not.
You don't have to be scared of me.
I'm not frightened of you, Joe.
I mean, I wouldn't want to hurt you.
No, I know you wouldn't.
Well, you don't have to make any noise. You understand that?
Yes, I understand, Joe.
You just be good, all right?
Yes, I'll be good, Joe. Poor Joe.
Well, do you think you can talk him out?
I'll try, sir. Where is he? Do we know?
In the back room. Show him round, will you?
Danelli? We know you're there, Danelli. This is Sergeant Stevens from the base, Danelli. I'm ordering you to come out.
It's a sergeant, Joe.
Danelli, if you don't come out, we're coming in.
Oh, whatever was it? He has a gun. Well, do they know what it is? No. You see, somebody shouted and he fired the gun right through the window.
Is she?
No, don't know. Len's trying to find out.
Well, there's no one else she could be.
Hey, where's your dad?
Well, they're gawping with the rest of them, I suppose.
It's a good thing you locked up the shop before you came out, otherwise he might have gone in there.
Take more than a lot to stop him.
All this time and you never suspected her.
I more than suspected, I knew.
Oh, well, now, like, yeah.
I've known for ages, Mum.
You couldn't have.
I did.
How could you have?
Because he told me, that's why.
But you never said nothing. Why didn't you never say nothing?
You wouldn't have said nothing neither if he'd have told you what he'd do to you, same as he did with me. Why didn't I never say nothing? Honestly, do you think I didn't want to say something? It's been awful, ma'am. I mean, you read about these things, don't you, about the mafia and that? Well, you see, he said if he didn't get me, his friends would. Well, go on, what would you have done, eh? What big clever thing would you have done?
Well...
They think she's in there.
Oh.
Well, the lights were still on 2 minutes ago. It seems very odd to me.
I see. So I suppose they're all going to get ready now to shoot it out, as they call it, where they're just sitting there.
They won't do that, Mrs. Sharp.
Won't they? I do watch the telly, you know. They carry a gun in every pocket to these Yanks. They'll be selling intercontinental missiles from every corner shop before so blooming long.
Sharples, there's a police inspector out there.
Oh, and who's in charge, eh?
He is.
Ooh, wonders will never cease. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, it's right, you know. I mean, the Yanks were only invited. They've got nothing to do with it. The only people who can arrest Donnelly are the English police.
Well, thank God for that.
He wouldn't hurt Mrs. Caldwell, I'm sure.
Now, you're not trying to tell me he's normal, even by their standards.
Look, Mrs. Sharples, they don't enjoy the situation any more than you do, and their image is at stake.
It's not their image I'm worried about.
Well, ours isn't looking too good in Belfast at the moment, is it?
Now, look, when did two wrongs make one right, Len Fact? I mean, shut up, all of you. The more you talk, the further away you get from what it's all about. And what it's all about, as far as I'm concerned, is Minnie Caldwell.
Come on, Greg, talk to him. He'll listen to you.
I wouldn't know what to say.
Oh, come on, Greg, we're his friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. How does this thing work?
Just press and speak.
Oh, okay. Joe?
Joe? This is Greg, fella. Gary's here with me, Joe. We want you to come on up, boy. The guys are all around the place. You better come up, Joe. Gary and me'll speak up for you, boy. We know what a son of a bitch Steve got to be, don't we, Joe? Joe? Let the old lady out, Joe. Hey, fella? Joe? Joe? Joe?
You want to go?
Yes, Joe.
You want to leave me on my own?
No, Joe.
You know, my mother married again after Pop died. We moved to an apartment in Buffalo. 6 floors up. And in the fall, when you looked out the window, you couldn't see anything of Buffalo. Only the other blocks. You know, like icebergs sticking up out of the fog. She never should have married that man.
Wasn't he nice, Joe?
Oh, he was all right. But all the same, she never should have married him.
Perhaps she was lonely.
Me! I was lonely! Me!
I was very lonely when Armistead died.
And we used to go up the lake a lot when Pop was alive. And we were pretty good swimmers. We were. And one time we went to Niagara. And I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. Way up there. Looking all that way down. You have never seen anything like that. It's so big and great. The biggest and the greatest and bigger. The whole world. It's me and Pop looking down at Niagara.
I saw a film about Niagara on television. It was Marilyn Monroe. Poor girl. Poor Joe.
Oh, that was the biggest. And the greatest. The greatest in the whole world.
Hey, Stan, come over here. Where have you been?
Oh, this young one had got to the police station, you know, so he ran me down in his Jeep. Did he bring me back? Did he, Yankers, like? I'll never do another favour at flipping Yank as long as I live, I tell you. What's going on?
She knew. She knew all the time.
You what?
All about it, what were going on. He told her.
He told her? Well, why didn't you say out?
Oh, well, he threatened her, you see.
Eh?
He's in the mafia.
Oh, shut up, Mum. I never said he was in the mafia. I said you read about it. You know, you read, think, use your imagination.
Oh, yes, sorry, love. Would you like another drink?
Yes, a bottle of brandy.
Get her brandy.
I'm skint, Stan.
Yeah, get her brandy.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, Choke.
Just feel as if I've been in the fridge for a year.
Well, why didn't you tell somebody? I made flipping mincemeat of him. Why didn't you tell me?
I don't want to talk about it, Dad.
No, of course not. That dirty little rat, and I made flipping mincemeat of him. Where's he now?
He's in Mrs. Caldwell's.
Well, why haven't I got him out?
Because she's in there with him, of course.
Dirty little rat. Look, you stay here with your mum. You stay here with your mum.
Oh, don't go out, God.
You stay here with your mum.
Where's your dad going?
I don't know.
I suppose somebody will come and tell us something in due course.
Well, we were told to stop inside, weren't we? I know some of us haven't, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? I'll poke my head out of the door if you like.
I'll go.
Hey, see if you can find that Detective Jones. He's one of Arthur's old sidekicks, you know. He should be out there somewhere.
Yes, sir.
I'm obliged.
You're very welcome, Mrs. Jones.
Well?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Takes you back a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I know. I know something else you were thinking and all.
What?
You were thinking, well, I was wrong after all.
What about?
Oh, come on, Elsie. About who killed Steve. You thought it was me, didn't you?
If you think I could stand talking to you and taking drinks off you all those years if I thought that. I thought a lot at the time, but that was then. Forget about these things and just go on living.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look tired.
Like you said, it takes you back. Water under the bridge and all that.
You wouldn't have, would you?
What?
Done a thing like that for me?
No.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it?
What?
Oh. Summit to nothing. You know, I always used to feel sorry for you when you looked tired.
I should have looked tired more often, shouldn't I?
Is that what you wanted? Someone to feel sorry for you?
When you get to my age, love, you begin to settle for anything.
You know something?
What?
We sound like an old married couple.
We do just that.
Oh.
Well, if it isn't Inspector Castle.
Mrs. Tanner, Mr. Fairclough, you remember me then?
Or I should have said another one who thought it was me. Is that why you didn't get your promotion, Inspector? Because the case was never closed?
I did, as a matter of fact, as Chief Inspector.
Oh. In that case, we better drink to it, hadn't we?
Not for me, thanks.
Oh, it's like a family gathering, isn't it?
Ah, it's like a flipping wake. Oh, I'm sorry, love.
I heard there were some Americans involved in a rumpus in Coronation Street.
And you put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5.
I haven't done the sums yet, Mr. Fairclough. But I can't quite see how Donnelly fits in.
Why not?
He had an alibi.
He hasn't got one now. You want to talk to that woman? She'll tell you where you went wrong.
No, I don't care.
Hold on. Didn't I see you down the bottom end a couple of minutes ago? Oh, well, I come down and see both ends of the back again, sort of blocked up like, you know, and well, can't you get through the back door?
What, with the old girl in there?
He wouldn't hurt Minnie Colwell.
Ah, yes, but we're keeping well back till we see if he lets her out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, hold on a minute. You can't go in there.
I'm going to my house.
No, but it's to go down the street.
I'm not going down the street, am I? I'm going to my house to get my tablets. I have to have them, you know, every 2 hours. Like I'm an hour late now. My knees feel a bit wobbly anyway.
Oh.
You know.
Well,
Tell you what I'll do. I'll whip in, whip out. All right?
All right.
Right.
Can I go now, Joe?
You want to leave me?
Well, no, not in a way. Only I'm feeling very tired.
They won't try to come in here for me as long as you're here, you know that.
Yes, I know. Only, well, Joe, you can't stop here forever, can you? Oh, hello, Mr. Ogden.
You all right, Mrs. Colwell?
Oh, how did you get in here?
Oh, well, came over the back walls, you know. Look, you go now, love. I'll look after this fella.
He's right, Ma, you go. You go. I'm all right now. Stanley will stay and keep me company. Won't you, Stanley?
The light's gone on, sir, in the back room. He's closed the curtains.
Right.
Can I get you another brandy, Mrs. Sharples?
You can get me one with pleasure, but I can't promise to pay for it. Oh.
I don't think you need to worry about Mrs. Caldwell, you know. Nobody'd hurt Mrs. Caldwell. Nobody.
Billy, lad, I'm not worried about whether he'll hurt her. It's what's going to happen to her state of mind. She'll be turned to stone inside there with that mad specimen.
You shouldn't have done that to our room.
Shut up, windbag.
Well, you shouldn't.
You know something, Stan? You're fat.
Well, it's not to insult me.
Fat.
A bit overweight, maybe, yes, but that's all.
Fat, Stanley. Fat. Fat. Steady. Don't move. Don't move, Stanley. You carry around a lot of weight there, Stanley. Why don't you sit down and rest it? Hmm? You sit down. And you relax.
Why did you give Donnelly an alibi?
Well, I think Gary was scared, sir, that he didn't have one for himself.
I'm asking him. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Were you aware of the fact that you were committing perjury?
Well, not exactly, sir.
Well, we're not too well up on your laws, sir.
Perjury is perjury in any judicial system, Sergeant, as I'm sure you're well aware.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, the case is out of my hands now. When we get your chap, as we undoubtedly will, I shall be obliged to hand him over to your people for a court-martial. Let's hope he gets his just desserts.
Well, I'm sure he will, sir.
What would his just desserts be, Sergeant, would you say?
Well, I think he's a nutcase, sir, so...
Oh, Mrs. Caldwell.
Where do you think you've been?
I've been at home, Eva.
Well, come and sit down.
I'm all right now.
Shall I get you a brandy, Mrs.
Yes, get her a
Sharp?
brandy.
I asked him what he did wrong, only he wouldn't tell me. Is he absent without leave?
Oh, yes, he is that, Mrs. Caldwell.
Well, I don't think he'll stay in there very long now. Not that Mr. Ogden's gone in to talk to him.
What was that, Mrs. Caldwell?
Mr. Ogden's gone in to talk to him. Didn't you know?
Come on, Sergeant.
Come on, love.
No, well, where's my mum gone?
She's at the other end of the seat. No, leave her, dear.
How about a little song, Stanley?
Eh?
A song. You know, or carol. Let's have a carol. That's what we need, a little peace. And goodwill. You know what my favorite carol is, Stanley? You guess what my favorite carol is.
Good King Wenceslas.
That's wrong, Stanley, that's wrong.
Silent Night.
Hey, that's it. That's the one. You know the words?
Well, just one verse.
Well, that's all right. We'll do it together. Okay, on the count of 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. Stanley, you're not cooperating, Stanley.
Yeah, I know, but you know what?
Well, look, Stanley, you be a good boy and you won't get hurt.
Oh, but you hurt our Irma, didn't you?
Well, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I'm sorry, sometimes I'm not. I do a lot of bad things, Stanley. I never should have been born, you know that. I never should have been born. You don't like me very much, do you?
Well, I don't know, you know. You're poorly, aren't you?
Poorly? Yeah. Yeah, poorly. Stanley, I'd really like to sing that carol, and I'd like you to really help. Will you do it? And we'll try again, and we'll count 3. We'll do that? All right. Well, 1, 2, 3. Silent night, holy night, all is calm. Come on, Stanley, sing it louder. Put your foot on it, Stanley.
Yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Round yon virgin mother and child.
Look, can't one of you go and talk to him? I mean, he's by himself now.
No, hang on a minute, love. If he's doolally, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no use upsetting him.
Look, quiet a minute, everybody. Thought I heard something.
Ina?
I know. It's my turn.
No, it's about this week.
What about this week?
Well, it's Christmas.
I know, love.
I don't think I could face sleeping at home for a bit yet. I never slept a wink last night.
You slept with me last night.
Yes, but I couldn't face another night of it, though, could you?
No, now you come to mention it, I couldn't either, which is why I'm making arrangements. I've got your spare room. At any rate, negotiations are in progress.
Oh, where, Ina?
Oh, we'll leave that until we're sure, shall we? I'm just off to see a man about a cat.
Don't you mean a dog?
Now, if I'd meant a dog, I would have said a dog.
Oh, Stan's come out of it well, you know. It's funny, you look at some fellas and you wouldn't think they'd say boo to a goose. And deep down, there's all sorts of things going on.
Pint of bitter, please.
And a gin.
And a gin.
And a tonic.
And a tonic. And a pint of bitter, please.
That's 2 pints of bitter and 2 gins and tonics. Oh, sorry. Just trying to put a Christmas take in, that's all.
Has Miss Nugent been in?
In and gone. Only I can do it for you.
Do what?
Strike your name off the Christmas outing list, right?
Right.
Only she's left it here for me. There's only you two and Albert Tatlock left. All on account last night, they keep saying, but if you ask me, nobody wanted to go in the first place, right?
Right.
Yes. Good old Emily Nugent. High pressure salesmanship. Oh, I'm afraid there's no money back because the coach has already been booked.
You're making us feel awful about her.
Oh, you can put your handkerchiefs away. Len's just gone down the wreck, see if he can get a gang of young tearaways for a free outing. Ah, here he is. Man of the moment.
Now, Stan, what are you going to have?
No, this one's on me.
No, it's not. It's on the house. Mum's orders. Stan Ogden is not the man she first thought he was, she said.
You're embarrassing me now, you know. I'll have a whiskey and chaser, eh?
I'll bet you catch her and all, Mr. Ogden. Stanley.
And a gin and tonic, thank you very much.
And keep pumping, will you, mate? And stick a glass underneath for me.
Right.
By the heck, I hope I've done the right thing.
Oh, no, look.
Oh, I've got a coach load, all right. I just feel sorry for the coach.
Rough, eh?
They look as if cast iron had melted in their mouths. Knows we need some strong-arm men. Who's left on the list? Albert by the left, Tatlock. Oh, may the Lord rest on his soul.
Right.
That big-mouthed woman were in the corner shop this morning. You know her off Maudsley Street with the big fat husband what wears curlers all the time? Well, she reckoned you didn't know he had a gun.
Oh, she did she?
Yeah. Of course, I never told you, neither did our Irma. And you was down at the police station when the shot were fired. I suppose one of the Yanks told you, did he?
Ah, that was it. One of the Yanks told me, yeah.
Big mouse. Oh, I give her a piece of my mind, I can tell you.
You know, it's funny to wake up one morning and find itself what you might call a sort of hero. Of course, I only did it for our Irma. And you.
You've always been a hero to me, Stan.
And give all there.
Albert, just the fella I'm looking for. Are you going off on this coach trip?
Well, why shouldn't I be?
Well, you're going on your top.
Oh, well, in that case, I won't bother. When do I get my money back?
I'm afraid you don't.
But I paid up, didn't I?
Well, it's what you might call non-returnable.
Oh, well, I'm going.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Well, please yourself.
Yeah, and I'll do that and all, won't I? Look, and don't you run away with the idea that I'm always after something for note. I took Minnie Colwell in her hour of need, and I reckon I'm entitled to go on this trip. What I've paid for.
And by the look of them kids, he's going to get his money's worth. By the heck, Annie, that was good. When I woke up this morning, I said, never again, never another pint will pass my lips. I felt that grim. But things are never as bad as they seem, are they?
Oh, I don't know, Len. Some things are. Poor Sergeant Donnelly's tragic death, for instance.
Aye, that makes you think, doesn't it? No matter how sheltered your life is, violence is never all that far away.
No, indeed.
Is Emily in?
Just. Emily, wanted! Well, were you able to cancel the outing for the Panto?
I've given all those tickets to a lot of kids. If you can call things like that kids.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Len, won't you, Len?
Any luck?
Oh, I'm afraid not, Mr. Fairclough. The idea of squiring 20 children of this rather uninhibited kind is apparently anathema to everybody.
That means they're scared of him. I don't blame them, so am I.
Oh, what are we going to do then? We can hardly send them unaccompanied.
Of course not. We've never finished paying for the damage they'd do.
You've really no need to worry about them kids being looked after, you know.
But we have bet nobody's going with them.
Oh, but they are, Mr. Tatlock.
Oh, but we know him, yeah. But who else?
Well, with Albert, who else do you need?
Do you want the paper, Albert?
I've seen you, damn now. Read it from back to front before you were even up.
Oh, you are an early riser, aren't you? Oh, I think you should take something for that cough. You mustn't neglect a cough, especially in the winter.
Look, as you don't seem to be able to take it, I suppose I'll have to ask you straight out, won't I?
Well, I'm waiting.
Well, when are you going to start making dinner?
Whose dinner?
My dinner. Your dinner. I mean, you're living here now and you'll be eating here. So I expected...
Oh, well, I shan't be eating my dinner here today. Rosemary Kennedy's asked me to have my dinner with her.
Oh, well, that means I'll have to get me home, won't it?
Well, what do you usually do on a Wednesday?
Get me home.
Oh, well, then nothing's changed, has it?
No, but you might have told me about it a little bit sooner. Oh, wait till I've got time to boil a blooming egg now before I go for the outing.
Oh, I thought the outing was off on account of what happened.
But it's not off. Life's got to go on, you know. No good moping.
I'm not moping, Albert. I'm just very sad that a kind young man that I knew and liked should have died the way Joe did. Very, very sad.
Thank you, Mrs. Barlow. That's fine.
Is it all finished now, Inspector?
Well, no, not quite. We'll have to have the Donnelly inquest, then we'll probably have to reopen the Sergeant Tanner inquest. Well, it looks as though it'll all be a formality.
Only looks.
Well, Donnelly certainly, but Tanner, well, let's say things are falling into place.
But Joe was very definite. I mean, that's why I was so scared of him. He definitely said he killed Steve Tanner.
I think that's quite clear in your statement, but there's one or two loose ends need to be tied off.
I don't think you altogether believe me, do you? You think I'm telling lies or exaggerating?
I believe you, but it's not just a question of me believing you. It's a matter of gathering evidence. There's quite a lot of evidence to be gathered, all right?
All right. I'm sorry I lost my temper, but I still feel jumpy.
Ah, well, you've had a rough time.
Do you know what the worst of it was? Feeling that I was all on my own, being amongst all the people, even my own family, but still feeling I was on my own.
You could have come to us. You should have come to us.
Well, I thought about it all the time, like, but he had me scared.
No. Well, it's all over now. Tell me, where can I find your father?
Oh, well, if he's not at home, he'll be in the Rovers drinking the free booze on the strength of what he did or tried to do.
Is he in the habit of being foolhardy, your father?
Do you mean brave?
In a way.
My dad brave. That's funny, that is. Very funny.
Well, I'll be off. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you for being so decent.
Don't sound too surprised. Goodbye.
Everything all right?
Well, let's say it's better than it was.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Do you know, I know that I should feel as if a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders, but I don't. I still feel depressed.
Me too. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow.
Because of Greg, do you mean?
Yeah. I enjoy his company.
And I thought him and Gary was hand in glove with Joe.
I'll miss him when he's gone. Story of my life.
I just want to make absolutely sure that you understand the position, Mr. Tatlock.
Of course I'm sure.
Nobody but you is going this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I prefer it that road.
No other adult, I mean, from the street.
Oh, no.
Some children are going.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's no odds to me, is it? I mean, they're not my kids.
No, but they will require a little looking after.
What do you think I am? When I'm with kids, I keep my eye on them, you know. I see that they behave themselves.
Well, of course you do, Mr. Tatlock.
Look,
I'm just making sure.
Have you ever seen a panto? Have you?
Yes, but...
It's absolute heaven. What with comics and chorus girls, and not to mention Good Fairy. Seeing all them kids there with their eyes wide open with amazement.
Hiya.
Are you getting a beer in for us, mister?
With this gun, you see, pointing straight at me flipping chest. I thought I was a goner, honest I did. I've never been so scared since casino.
I'm not surprised.
Then what's happened?
Well, he must have shot himself.
Didn't you see him?
I had my eyes shut, didn't I?
You know, I think I'd have turned and run.
Well, I heard this bang and this bump. It must have been him hitting the floor, you know.
You must have fallen at your feet.
Oh, how terrible.
No, well, I had a call the table between him and me, like, and the bump made me open my eyes and took one look at him and I took off.
I'd have been petrified.
Would you like a drink, Stan? No, I feel like one now.
No, thanks, no. It's not going down too well. It's the shock, I think, you know.
Poor lad, to go like that so far away from home.
You know,
I don't know, love. He's no angel, that
It's
fella.
funny, but I went in there with a fixed intent on thumping the living daylights out of him. But somehow now, I feel sorry for him.
I don't feel sorry for him.
I'm not sure that I do, either.
Well, nobody starts off being like that. The world makes them that way.
I'm not too sure about that, Mrs. Sharples.
Hey, Stan. That police inspector wants to see you now. He's waiting at home.
What for?
He didn't say, love.
4 and 10, please, Alan.
Like a drink, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, can I save it?
Save it?
Yeah, you know, for another time. I can't drink it now, you see, because I'll miss what the inspector wants to see Stan about if I do. Between you and me, I wouldn't be surprised if it's to do with him getting a medal. He's got guts, you know, as my Stan. Tempered in war.
Tempered?
Hardened.
Stan?
You've heard of people that believe the moon's made of green cheese?
Yeah.
Well, Hilda Ogden not only believes that, she swears that it was made on Milky Way.
Hey, you're not supposed to laugh out loud like that round here until next Easter.
Oh, you haven't seen what we've just seen.
The kids have just started turning up for a panto trip. Them? Aye, them. I tell you what, they look as if they could strip a plantation. I wouldn't be in charge of them if they was bound and gagged. How about you, Elsie?
Well, I just hope there isn't a monster in this panto.
Why, Elsie?
Why? They'll frighten it to death.
You're like a lot of flaming wild animals. You're not getting on this boat till you behave yourselves.
Hey, come on, kids, you ain't rubbish to making sense. Get in the queue. Please. Get in the queue.
By gum, that's better. Much better. I hope somebody's coming with this lot, because if not, this coach is not moving.
Keep your shirt on, mate. Albert's going. He'll be here in a minute.
I hope.
All I said was I wouldn't like Mr. Tatlock in charge of any outing I was going on, chowing at me and moaning.
I know precisely what you said, Bet, and I wish you hadn't.
Well, he is a bit of a wet blanket, isn't he? He doesn't even like kids, never mind understand them.
All right, Bet, you've made your point. And you've also made my quite determined neutrality untenable. I better go and ring Ernest.
Well, what for?
To tell him I'll not be into work this afternoon, as I'm going to a panto and then on for some Chinese nosh, as Mr. Fairclough puts it. Oh, why, if there has to be a sacrificial lamb, does it always have to be me?
What did I do?
You pricked her conscience, that's what you did. And it can't stand that us pricking, can't Emily Newton's conscience.
I think Inspector's likely to want to see you, love, if what Irma said is true.
Yeah. I don't know whether to be glad it's all out or sorry that it's all been stirred up again.
Well, I'd be glad it's all out.
Do you know who I thought once did it?
Len.
Oh, clever as well as handsome.
But it wasn't very difficult, was it?
Len used to be my sort of knight in shining armour. Oh, not too shiny for me. And when Steve turned nasty, I thought he might do something. Something, but not that.
And he didn't.
No, but I think he thought about it a lot.
Hi, Elsie. Helen.
Oh, so they weren't lynched after all.
Oh, come on, Elsie.
I thought you were in trouble.
If I don't think about it, it might just go away.
Hey, we got a good idea, Elsie.
A great idea.
No, I'm sorry. You're not going to be allowed to strip down the Rover's return and take it back to the States brick by brick.
Not unless the price were right, and I got a handsome commission.
Well, look, it kind of occurred to us that we being Americans and visitors, well, we kind of owe you good people something.
Kind of a debt.
Yeah, for all the trouble and worry that Joe has caused.
Well, it was hardly your fault that Sergeant Donnelly chose to come here.
Well, no, but, well, we thought that we'd like to throw a party here, tonight, and everybody invited, eh?
And everything on us.
Well, it's very generous of you, but I'm not sure. People are very downcast. For instance, they didn't feel like going to the panto.
That's true.
Oh, come on, after all, it's Christmas time. What do you say, Alan, Elsie?
I don't know, Greg. It seems to me a bit too soon.
I don't know. Perhaps Greg's right. I think a party might be a good idea.
Of course he's right. The sooner you put the upset behind you, the better. Life's made for laughing. Every chance you get, and I should know. I've done my share of yelling.
Well, it's all arranged then. A party on us?
Fine, fine. I'm going to start right now. So get 'em in, Bet, as they say in, what's that place called? Oswald Whistle, is it?
They say it all over Lancashire. We're noted for it, and mine's a milk stout.
Hey, Albert! Albert, have you died or something? Albert! Albert! Where are you going, love?
To a premature demise, I shouldn't wonder.
Albert! Hey, stop!
All right. I hope they've got a seat left for me anyway.
There'll be no flipping bus if you don't get on now.
Up.
Away you go, then. Yeah, have a good time. Ta-ra now.
We're on our way to battle. We shall not be stopped just like it's free. Standing by the
If you'll just sign your statement, Mrs. Caldwell.
My full name?
Yes, please.
Oh.
What's up?
Well, I've got a funny full name.
Now, what's funny about Minnie Caldwell?
Well, my name's really Minnie Carlton Caldwell.
Carlton?
It was a singer that my mother admired, Madam Carlton. I don't think she was a madam, though. She come from Widnes.
By heck, and I thought I knew more about you than you did about yourself.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be possible, Ena.
It's a big temptation to put it all down to Will going to dogs.
It wouldn't be true, Mrs. Sharple.
Wouldn't it? It's not the first time this sort of thing's happened, and I don't suppose it'll be the last. But don't you think it's happening a bit too often?
Yeah. You see, thank you. There's more of us for it to happen, too.
But I thought we'd all got more sense, we were better educated.
Education, the hope of mankind.
Well, I thought it were.
To a degree. I agree people are better today than they were. More trusting, more humane, more tolerant. The trouble is education doesn't help our villains, it simply makes them smarter.
Joe wasn't a villain, Inspector. He was very kind to me. He never harmed me.
Villains is just one of our words, Mrs. Caldwell. We tend to use it rather indiscriminately.
I shall always remember him as a very kind young man.
So he was, Mrs. Caldwell. To you.
Hello, Flint and Company Aid, Mrs. Walker.
And who do you think's going to eat it all? Unless you're thinking of calling for reinforcements.
Well, now, who do you think these two fellas are here, eh? This is Rod Malone and Mary Uccello, two buddies of ours from Burton Wood.
Oh.
And mine hostess, Mrs. Annie Walker.
Anne?
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Ann Walker.
How do you do?
Where should we put the,
Well, some on the bar, love, and the rest on the tables.
Okay. Oh, and don't forget, Mrs. Walker, tonight, nobody pays for a single drop of booze. Huh?
Oh, it's all on your check.
Yeah, you bet it is.
You know, I'll say one thing for these Yanks.
Besides them being bumptious and loudmouthed, you mean?
Yeah, they're very generous to the natives.
Oh, personally, I thought they were poor Father Christmases in civvies.
You know, if I had to put my money on who'd be first at a free party, any free party, I'd put my money on Len Fairclough.
And on Billy Walker.
Yeah, well, it's
Oh,
part
really?
of my charm, you know. I'll have a pint.
My boy.
And me. What's all this, then?
It's a gesture from the heart, something rather beautiful in this day and age, and unusual, particularly in this part of the world.
Oh, I don't know. I've got a little ring round Mother's Day on my calendar. You never know, I might buy you a bobbin of cotton.
Yes, a typical northern male remark, if I ever heard one.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, whiskey for me.
Hey, Len. Do you suppose that could be Albert Tatlock? The Albert Tatlock?
The very one, and not a bruise on him either. Well, Albert?
Well, what?
What happened? Why aren't you in little bits all the way from here to Manchester?
Well, why should I be? I kept the German army at bay. A few kids and me a child's play.
Well, where's Miss Nugent?
Now, it's funny you should mention that. She gave a low moan in that Chinese cafe. I think it was just when them youngsters started flicking rice at the woman in the fur coat. Any road, she got up, walked out, and I haven't seen her since.
Maggie, you sure it's all right? We can always go somewhere else,
Yeah,
you know.
no. You stay where you are. It's time I got changed anyway. Excuse me.
Thank you.
What do you want with me, Inspector?
I think you can guess.
Oh. You believe it, then, that Joe Dinelli killed him?
Oh, yes. Mrs. Barlow and Mrs. Caldwell are reputable witnesses.
I suppose so.
So I can close the file. Soon, anyway.
I was saying to my husband, Alan, I'm not sure whether I'm glad or sorry.
Well, I am. Open verdicts is a messy business. Means you haven't done your job.
You tried hard enough to do your job.
Was I tough on you?
Shall I say that you didn't pull your punches?
You didn't tell the truth?
Oh, well, I had my reasons.
It's always better to tell the truth.
Oh, yes, well, you would say that, wouldn't
Yes, but lies have a habit of getting you deeper into trouble instead of out of it.
you? Well, I can think of one or two whoppers I've told in my lifetime that didn't do me any harm.
I'm talking about telling lies to the police.
Oh. Tell me, did you really believe that I did it?
Say, you were on my list of suspects.
Well, that'll be something to tell me grandchildren.
Yes.
Load of V.
Hey?
Brandy, dear.
Oh. I honestly thought I'd reached the end.
What happened? You look as if a bulldozer's pushed you through a roll of barbed wire.
Bill, where's your manners?
Oh, you don't have to spring to my defence, ladies. I'm aware I must look even worse than usual, but I've had a rather nerve-wracking experience.
What? I thought old Bill had something to do with it.
Hey, look, if you're talking about me, don't.
What did he do to you?
Oh, that's just it. Precisely nothing, or not to help, anyway.
Go on.
Taking the bus, for instance, I had enough to do trying to prevent the more boisterous children from disappearing en masse through the emergency door without having to adjudicate on a squabble between Mr. Tatlock and a 10-year-old about who should sit next to the window.
Well, I paid for my seat, hadn't I? Which will make side of more than any of that lot had.
Then there were the incidents in the theatre.
What incidents?
First he wanted an aisle seat, then he asked the woman in front to take her berry off, next he insisted he couldn't find the gents unaided.
Well, I'd found myself out each street once looking for it, hadn't I?
He insisted on telling the story of the pantomime in a loud voice before it actually happened, but his masterpiece was the noise he made eating a packet of crisps. He totally drowned the voice of the principal boy.
Yeah, well, I'm a better singer than she were.
But the last straw was in the Chinese restaurant.
Don't tell me he asked for gravy on his chicken and fried rice.
He had plaice and chips, actually. But he spent the entire meal grumbling because there was no rice pudding on the menu. I had to flee. It was either that or madness. Total madness.
I'll tell you what.
What?
I had a smashing time.
Well, they do say, don't they, that second childhood is much better than the first.
Ah, well, then you've got the sense to enjoy it, haven't you?
You know, it's very nice to see.
What is, Mrs.
Shows
Arnold?
you he bears no grudges.
Who?
My Stan. I mean, he's got every right to hate you lot, but he's very tolerant.
We won! We won first time you played this flipping game.
It sure is.
On my honor. Quinn says a whitewash next time.
No, not me, Stan. Look,
Mr.
I've got to go
Hopkins?
and see a lady.
You're on. Right, medal for diddle. Okay. You only need one flipping dart, here.
It's a real pleasure to see you now. He's a cosmopolite, is my Stan.
Aren't you coming then?
I don't want to be a wet blanket.
Well, I can't say I'm going to be the life and soul of the party, but honestly, I think it's better than sitting here looking at one another.
Well, if you go, we won't be, will we?
Okay, I'll see you.
Hi, Ern. Maggie. Hi.
Hello, Greg.
Irma tells me that you're playing at being Cinderella.
Am I? I thought I was just tired.
You're, not coming to my party then?
No. Am I being rude?
A little.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You're forgiven.
But don't let me spoil your night. I mean, you go back.
You know, I've had a good time this trip, Maggie. Well, I mean, you know, forgetting Joe and all that.
Have you?
Yeah, quieter than usual, but nice. More befitting my age, huh?
I see.
We're taking a plane back to Germany tomorrow.
Oh.
Of course, it's not the other side of the world, you know. Where is these days, huh?
It's getting smaller every hour, isn't it? The world.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll be making more trips over to the UK.
Good. You'll be very welcome.
Can I depend upon that?
Yeah, Greg. You can depend on it.
Great. Oh, look, I brought along our own little party.
What a good idea.
Yeah, I was hoping you might think it was.
Giving me black looks won't spoil my appetite, you know.
I never dreamt it would, Mr. Tatlock.
Oh, what's my favourite lady having a drink?
Hey, I thought I was that. Another brandy, please. It seems to have accomplished a minor miracle and cheered me up.
Well, I think this is as good a time as any, if you'll excuse me.
For what?
Oh, public thank you to the Yanks. Of course, you know why she's doing it, don't you? Because of the brass they're spending, that's why.
How are you feeling now, my old fruit?
Oh, okay.
So, Len, I'd be very much obliged if you'd ask for silence.
On one condition, love.
What's that?
But you're very quick about it, because I'm not going to waste good drinking time listening to a landlady speechifying.
Just think how different my life would have been if I'd have taken up with teetotalers.
You'd never have met me, love.
Exactly.
Len?
Yes, right on, love. Praise silence for Mrs. Annie Lilac Time Walker. Well, let's have a bit of hush, eh? Will you shut your gobs or I'll shut them for you?
Thank you, Len. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity of thanking our benefactors, Gary, Rod, Mario, for this evening. Out of their own pockets and quite unsolicited, they have provided all the refreshments, both liquid and solid, for the entire evening.
Nice little package she's making out of it and all.
Now, some people might say that they're doing this as a sort of sop to their conscience for the tragic events of Monday. But I prefer to believe that they're doing it because they've come to like us.
Yeah. I've never met anybody I like more than me.
Who's going to have to clear up after this little lot for a pittance? Muggins.
Oh, shut up, man.
So, I would like to say, on behalf of you all, thank you, Rod, Gary, Mario. A happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And Greg, of course.
It's time I had a prosperous New Year and all. Could start with a rise from Mrs. Flippin' Walker.
Oh, ma'am, shut up and sup up, will you?
It's very good of Mr. Tatlock to take me in, but oh dear, Ena.
You don't have to tell me. I wouldn't put you for the perfect couple myself.
No. And while I'm on my feet, may I extend my personal good wishes to you all. May we all enjoy the peace, prosperity, and the consideration to and from our neighbours, which we all so earnestly desire.
Which is exactly what she said last year, and look what we got.
Come on, love, let the dog see the rabbit, will you?
I beg your pardon.
Make way for the workers, missus.
When I was at school, the words were excuse me.
Oh, we've had 2 world wars since then, haven't we, Mother?
Hey, and not so much of the mother, if you don't mind. If I'd have been your mother, you'd have had better manners. Sure, draymen.
Beg your pardon?
I said draymen.
Something wrong, Mrs. Turpin?
Oh, no, everything in the garden's lovely. I mean, we're all happy at the Happy Drome. As my Cyril said, the more you do, the more some folks will let you do.
Well, if something's bothering you, I wish you'd be a little bit more specific.
Now, look, I take it that as the hostess with the mostest, you've not forgotten that this is the busiest week of our season.
Of course not.
Well, then why the heck have you let Bet Lynch take it off?
For the very simple reason that she asked to take it off. Why? Have you any objection to the
Oh,
arrangement?
no objections at all. I mean, but being senior barmaid, it would have been a very nice gesture if somebody had consulted me, seeing that I'm going to be the one that's going to have to try and cope.
Mrs. Turpin, dear, you need have no worries on that score. Righto, Mr. Burrows, just leave it there. Because while Bet Lynch is away, I myself will undertake any extra work that's necessary. I beg your pardon.
I said, meaning that there's help. And then there's help, isn't there? Excuse me.
Well, if it isn't Annie Walker's little son. Packet of kale, is it, and a tube of Spanish to suck it up?
That's better. I knew you could do it if you really put your mind to it.
What?
Turn that big cheeky grin on again without cracking your face.
Bad as all that, was it?
No. No worse than anybody else would been, I reckon.
Billy, I want to thank you.
What for?
Well, holding me hand over Christmas and cracking on, I wasn't spoiling it for you.
I'll get off, Barlow.
I mean it, Billy.
Shut up. Any more of this and I'll be shuffling my feet and going red all over. Hey, give us a packet of spearmint and call it quits, eh?
All right.
He took her hand in his, warmly, intimately.
And she looked into his big eyes lovingly, brown and trusting. They reminded her of the cocker spaniel her mother had, what died of galloping gumboils.
You flatterer.
Oh, no.
You look. Right, well, I'll see you around the back of the air raid shelter then.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Hey, Chuck, can I ask you something? Somewhat of a very personable nature.
Of course you can, ma'am. I mean, what's daughters for if it's not to be asked questions of a very personable nature?
Yeah, well, how much would you say, you yourself, like, I was worth?
Well, do you mean on the hoof, like, or in your stocking feet?
Oh, no, serious, Chuck.
Well, you know me, don't you, ma'am? I wouldn't swap you for all the tea in China, even if I did have the storage space.
Ah.
Only I don't know what you mean. How much do I think you're worth?
Oh, well, look, take a look at this. And it's true, this, isn't it? I mean, it wouldn't be in the paper if it wasn't true.
Are you undervaluing yourself?
Ask yourself 10 questions. If you score more than 7, you're not a worker, you're a blooming slave. Me and your dad had a go at it between us last night.
How did you go on?
10 out of 10, both of us, plus bonus points.
Huh. So you'll be going to ask Annie Walker for a rise then now, will you?
Well, just somewhat to keep pace with us cost of living.
Well, there's no charge for asking, is there, Mother?
Now, that's just what your dad said. And, you know, he's always been very active at getting the workers their rights as your dad. Well, he was shop steward in that boiler factory for ages, you know, right up till the time they went bankrupt.
Well, listen, don't go ordering a colour telly till you see it in writing, will you?
You don't have to worry about us, Chuck. We don't go boiling us eggs until they've been hatched, don't me and your dad?
No.
Not off yet, love?
Oh, it's all right. I'll clock on when the boss isn't looking. Good morning, Mrs. T.
Is it time to notice? Did you want me?
Yes, I did, love. Billy, would you mind, dear? I've left the drayman's note on the bar.
Right.
Do you know, dear, I have realised something very interesting.
Oh?
You and Bet Lynch, you share the same Christian name.
So?
Well, of course, it's of no importance, but I suppose it could lead to friction, 2 people serving behind the same bar having the same Christian name.
So?
Well, I was wondering if you'd mind if from now on I called Bet and referred to you by your full name of Elizabeth.
Oh, please yourself, Mrs. Walker. I can't see what difference it makes.
That's where you're so wrong, dear. There's a world of difference between a full name and its diminutive.
I think so.
Of course. Now take your name, Elizabeth, for instance. In its full flower, immediately evocative, I always think of all that is finest in our English heritage. Whereas Bet, now, the diminutive, don't you think it's just a little common?
You know, now you come to mention it, perhaps you're right, Mrs. Walker.
I know I'm right, Elizabeth. Sugar? You?
You sign there, Jack.
Get away.
Only some of us do have a living to earn, you know.
Yes, I know.
What's up? Something wrong, is it?
Oh, nothing. A couple of boxes of bitter lemons can't cure.
What do you mean?
There's 2 boxes of bitter lemons short on that order.
Hey? Here, let's have a look. Oh, no, you're mistaken, are you? Everything on there's gone into your cellar.
Yeah, everything except 2 boxes of bitter lemons.
Now, look, you're not calling me a liar, are you?
No, no, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it's just an honest mistake. So let's have those bitter lemons and we'll forget all about it, all right?
Oh, well, all right. I'm not going to argue with you over a cup of bob. I'll drop them into you next time.
Oh, that's not good enough.
Now, look here, son.
Oh, don't give me that son bit. We've ordered them, we'll pay for them, so let's have them now.
I've already told you I'll drop them into you tomorrow.
Tomorrow's not good enough.
Now, look. Anyway, have we got any left on the wagon?
All right, we'll go back to the brewery and get some put on the wagon. Or do you want me to phone the brewery for you?
What was all that about?
Oh, just our friendly neighbourhood drayman, charging us for a couple of boxes of bitter lemons that he actually accidentally forgot to deliver.
Oh, don't let's have any more trouble, Billy.
Oh, come off it. Mummy's robbing us and staring us in the face.
Well, I suppose it could have been a mistake.
Oh, yeah. And Albert Tatlock could play for Manchester United if he had football boots. There's a thought.
Well, it's only 4 days, Albert.
What to?
New Year.
Oh, that. Thank you. Hey, how many spoonfuls of sugar have you put in?
2?
Ah, well, I usually take 3. No, it'll be the same blooming selfish pattern as before, I reckon. Wages following prices, prices following wages. You know, what's wrong with this country? There isn't one of the young'uns that's interested in aught but his own creature comforts. Thank you.
Oh, well, there's always New Year's Eve, isn't there?
Yeah, that's not what it cracked up to be either. It used to be entirely different. Once upon a time, you couldn't move round here for potato pie suppers. Now half of them don't even bother to let the new year in.
Oh, that used to be a great thing in our house. It had to be a dark man, and he used to go out the back door and come back in again at the front.
Don't talk about dark men to me. I was cop for it in our house.
Well, one year when I was a young girl, we couldn't find anybody with dark hair, so Harry Jackson went out instead. He were a very blonde young man from next door.
20 minutes I stood out in the rain one New Year's Eve because Ariel had put the clock on wrong.
That was the year my father died.
And what sort of a rise were you expecting this time, Mrs. Ogden?
You make the offer, us on shop floor will consider it.
I see. Well, now, never having been an apostle of the pay pause, I have no objection to a rise as such, in principle.
How?
Provided, of course, that increased wages means increased productivity.
Productivity?
Oh, yes. Well, as the Duke of Edinburgh never tires of reminding us, it's up to all of us in these inflationary times to pull... Well, let us just say, shall we, that you have put your pay claim in, and there will now be a statutory pause while I consider it.
How long of a pause?
Oh, well, these things have to be gone into very carefully.
Yeah, but days, weeks or months?
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, Mrs. Ogden, or a week. Now, perhaps if you'll kindly start on the bedrooms.
Like that, is it? Right. In that case, Mrs. Walker, you leave me no alternative but my own industrialised action. From now on, it'll be work to rule in here.
Oh, does that mean that you will start work with the same alacrity at 9 o'clock as you finish at 12?
Just the 3 hours I'm paid for, nothing more, nothing less.
I see. No objection to that. Well, then, I take it that you will work until 12:30 today, being already 30 minutes late.
Boneyard? Oh, yes, Helen. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got hung up. Hang on, put them down there, will you? Yeah. Oh, what bill? Oh, Fairbanks in Waring. Have I got it? No. Well, if I have, I don't know where it is. Look, hang on. Have a look. It might be in my jacket upstairs. Hold on.
Likes chucking his weight about, doesn't he?
Want to try working for his mother. She invites you round to have a cup of tea and you find yourself going out to get a quarter.
Ow! Oh, flaming Nora.
Oh, they say wet blanket's very good for that.
What?
Smoke signals. Is Lennon?
No, he's down at the town hall today, dining at the ratepayer's expense.
Oh, I see. Well, when you see him, will you say that Alan said he'd meet him in the Rovers later for a drink?
Yeah, right, look, don't go, love, just yet.
Why?
Oh, now, come on, Elsie, we're pals again, aren't we?
Why?
Well, look, I've ruined me bacon, I've burnt me eggs. The only thing left between me and starvation is this piece of flipping steak.
Oh?
Well, it frightens me to death, honest. You see, Len's the steak and chips man round here, not me. You couldn't see
No,
your way
I
to...
wouldn't.
Oh, come on, Elsie.
You mean like for old time's sake?
Oh. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you had company.
Yeah, and before you jump to any exciting conclusions, we're just good friends, aren't we?
Oh, we heckers like. Otherwise you wouldn't be leaving me in here on my own with this piece of flipping steak.
Not on your own now, Chuck. You've got company. Or hadn't you noticed?
And a happy new year to you and all.
Was there something you wanted doing then, Raymond?
Yeah, steak and chips.
Oh, well, you just sit yourself down, I'll see to that for you.
You what?
Oh, there are still some folk round here as haven't forgotten how to be good neighbours, you know.
Steak and chips?
That's right.
By Eccledy, you've saved me life.
My speciality is steak and chips.
Hey, you know, your Stan doesn't know how lucky he is having you around. I mean, we could do with having you round here every day of the week, couldn't we?
Do you think so?
I flipping know so.
Meet me in the Rovers, he says, at 1 o'clock, and I'll buy you a pie and a pint. That was half an hour ago.
Oh, don't they make you sick, men? You know, the day Ma Cyril finished Bobby and he said, oh, you'll be seeing a lot more of me now, love. He's never in the house.
You talking about me?
You hadn't crossed my mind for the last half hour.
No. Want a drink?
I've got one, thank you.
I'll have another one.
Where have you been?
Working. Where else?
Oh, if you hadn't have told me, I would never would have guessed.
I'm sorry, love. It was hard enough to get away as it was. Where's Len?
Never mind about him, won't I do?
For the moment, yeah.
Well, thanks for nothing.
Large gin and tonic, please, Bet, and a large scotch and something for yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. So, are we celebrating a summit?
Oh, well, I suppose you might call it that.
Oh, well, what? Is it a secret, or can I join?
Well, no.
Go on.
No, you think I was going daft or something.
No, I wouldn't. No, I promise I wouldn't think you're going daft unless you are.
Well, there am I in the garage, all by myself. Up to the ears in work, up to the eyeballs in oil. No sign of the boss.
Yeah.
And I didn't care.
Oh.
I haven't got a care in the world. For the first time for a very long time, I can say I haven't got a care in the world.
I see.
And you think I was going daft?
No, I don't. I've had feelings like that lots of times myself. Yeah, but don't let's celebrate too often, shall we? It gets to be expensive. Here, steady on.
Sorry.
I'm ever so sorry, love, but this'll not cover all that lot.
Oh. Help yourself.
See what I mean?
There we are. Guaranteed to burn water for at least another 50 years.
Thank you, dear. Billy, love,
Yeah?
about this morning.
Well, what about this morning?
Well, several things, really. That Draymond's business, for instance, and then... well, could I just say this? We women pride ourselves on being a self-sufficient breed, but it's still comforting having a man's hand to steady the wheel occasionally.
I know, Ma.
Yes, love.
2 meat and potato pies, please, Betty.
With or without?
With or without what? Meat or potato?
Gravy, clever Dick. It's a new innovation.
Oh, I see. Why is gravy fattening?
Oh, very.
Well, in that case, Worth, you see, me and your Maggie's decided to let nature take its natural course for a bit.
Oh, you lucky beggars. You'll never believe it, you know, but I used to have a lovely sylph-like figure.
Of course I believe it. Mind you, I used to believe that Albert Tatlock was one of the first Bow Street runners.
Oh, cheeky.
Oh, ma'am, did he find you then, that fella?
What fella?
Vic Feather said it was something about an industrial dispute you wanted sending to arbitration.
Oh, we don't need the likes of him to get us as proper rights.
So Mrs. Walker wouldn't play then, eh?
Well, for the present.
What you going to do now? Get me Dad to walk up and down outside chanting only the slag's supping here?
Oh, no. There are other ways of retaliatory action besides making a fool of yourself.
Like what, for instance?
She'll find out. I have other straws in the wind.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Geordie. Sorry about this morning, but I got a bit gummed up, you know.
I got a bit gummed up, too, with that blasted 1100 you left me.
Gearbox, was it?
It's a write-off.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, don't dash back. I'll see you down there later, all right? Hello, Neil.
You know, you and him get on very well, considering.
Considering what?
You started off with a flaming great row.
Story of my life, isn't it?
All right, so now you've got him in a good humour, asking for a rise.
Oh, look, I can't go on asking the lad for more money.
Why not? You're always asking me for more money.
Yes, but you're my wife. It's a marital privilege.
Here we are, Mr. Howard. 1 gin and tonic and 1/2 pound of bitter.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you very much.
I'll put it in this time.
Hey, has your man been in?
Oh, she's been and gone. Why? What's she done now?
There's not what she's done and what she hasn't done. I've had no flipping dinner.
Oh, me poor Dad. Anybody can see you're starving of malnutrition. I bet you're down to your last 18 stone, aren't you?
I might know you'd take her side. You always have, haven't you? Flipping women. Go on.
Cheers.
All the best.
Something wrong?
I don't know.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, at first I thought you'd put in a load of tonic. But now I'm not sure. Here, you tell me.
Tastes as though it's been watered.
That's what I thought.
Right.
No, Alan.
What?
No.
Look, Elsie, I paid $3 for that drink. If there's something wrong with it, I want to know why.
I don't want you to.
Why the heck not?
Because I don't want a lot of bother about summat and nothing.
Summat and nothing? The gin's been watered.
No, Alan.
Good lunch, Councillor.
Fair to Middleton. And you?
Oh, just a straightforward fillet steak and chips, you know. Nothing spectacular.
You did fillet steak and chips?
Well, now, how does the saying go? Nothing venture, nothing gain?
All right, then, was it?
Pardon?
The steak and chips. You know, Stan says I ought to take it on television, my steak and chips.
And why not? Nothing venture, nothing gain.
Yeah, only, well, I was wondering,
Oh, yeah?
could I see you on a matter of pressing urgency?
Me or the galloping gourmet here?
Oh, well, both of you, together like.
Oh, aye.
Well, I mean, you did pay...
What can we do for you?
Oh, it's not so much what you can do for me as what I can do for you, given the chance.
Oh, aye.
I mean, you did pay tribute to my steak and chips.
Oh, what? Very succulent.
And you did say as how you could really do with me 5 days a week.
Oh, he did say that, did he?
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, well, I mean, it's not right for a man, is it, all this cooking and washing up and ironing and that? I mean, us women have got the right temperature for it, haven't we? It's in us natures, like.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, so what I was going to say was, I am available, if required.
It's very kind of you, love, but I thought you were already spoken for at the Rover's return.
Oh, yeah, well, less said about that, the better just at present.
Oh, you mean you've been sacked?
Oh, no. No, what I mean is that there are some folk round here that think if you've got a turban round your head, you're somewhat with welcome written across you for them to wipe their feet on.
Get away.
Yeah. So what do you think, then, eh?
Well, you've caught us on one leg, love. I mean, there is Stanley to consider.
Oh, you needn't worry about Stan. He's always thought I was demeaning myself a bit, skivvying for the likes of Mrs. Walker.
Well, give us a bit of time, eh? Let's think it over, eh? You know.
Yeah, all right, but you won't leave it too long, will you? Because I have got to let it be known in 1 or 2 quarters that I'm on the market. Oh, you know, I could have this place looking just like my own in 2 or 3 weeks. It's like the old song, isn't it? A man without a woman is like a fish without a sail.
Oh, heck, somebody's moved them.
What?
Miss socks.
Oh, they're in that drawer.
Oh, what they doing there?
I'll put them there.
Look, I always keep my socks upstairs in my dressing table.
The drawer in the dressing table sticks.
Oh, well, I can open it all right.
Oh, well, you don't have to put them away after washing them.
Oh, heck, now, don't go and say you've lost me garters. I left them on my socks.
That's right. And you left them on the socks on the bedroom floor where I had to pick them up this morning.
Oh, well, where are they now?
They're all in the wash.
Don't say you've gone and washed me garters. Good elastic gets ruined by that soapy water.
Not your garters, your socks. Your garters are in the drawer next door to your socks.
Oh, blooming heck. Almost the same if you can bring a woman in the house. Never happy unless they're shifting things round.
Armistead used to put his things away after he took them off.
Yeah, well, I reckon that was probably because she got him house-trained. Any road, I'm not a cocker spaniel, so don't try it on with me.
Armistead didn't have to wear garters.
All right, well, how did he keep his socks up then?
Armistead's...
With chewing gum?
His socks kept up on their own account.
Oh, well, he must have had very funny legs.
My Armistead, Mr. Tatlock, had lovely legs, and if you want any tea tonight, I'd thank you to have a bit more respect for them.
Yes, I think I can safely say that we can face the new year with a fair degree of confidence. That's what my Uncle Harry said the day before he broke both his ankles.
What are you looking like the Easter Bunny for? Had a preview of next year's trade figures, have you?
No, love, but I'll tell you what I have done. Within the last 12 hours, I have faced and surmounted 3 very sticky situations.
Oh, you're a little marvel, I've always said you were.
Seriously, Billy, 3 difficult problems.
Well, I'm being serious. I think you're a little marvel. Standing behind your little bar, sorting out your little problems, all on your little onio.
I was speaking collectively, of course.
Well, you want to watch that, you can get done for that, you know. Especially in mixed company. Good evening.
Hello, Mr. Howard, what is your pleasure?
Find a bit of please, Mrs. Walker, and,
Vodka and orange, please.
Not a gin and tonic?
No, Mrs. Walker, not a gin and tonic.
Changing your allegiance, Mrs. Howard, at this late stage of the game.
Well, you know what they say, a change is as good as a rest.
And that's something else you don't know for a start, isn't it?
What?
Your mum today offered to do for us.
You mean do for you or do for you?
Do for us, you know, do as in scrubbing brush.
I see, is that what you meant then?
Pardon?
Nothing. Is she going to do for you then?
Well, not exactly, no.
Oh.
Well, you see, as I remarked to the councillor of Fairclough this morning, there is Ogdens, and there is Ogdens, isn't there? I mean, there are the... And then the others, you see. Well, I am the type myself, and so I suspect is the councillor.
I suspect that I know.
I don't suppose we could interest you in a bit of occasional work?
No, don't think I'm not grateful. But you see, I've decided to take it a bit easy at the moment. I'm only doing 10 hours a day in here.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
Bayek, look at the time, 6:30 and not a pot washed.
Hey, you know what I think, Chuck? I think there was hidden significance in that remark.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
3 large scotches, 3 large gins, and 3 large rums, please.
My word, you two are starting New Year early, aren't you? Hey, come on, wee Willie Walker. Give us hand for this lot.
I thought you were supposed to be a mate of mine.
Till death do us part, Chuck, you know that.
That was a right flipping favour you did for me today, wasn't it?
Dinner?
Yeah, all that mate of mine wanted was a few elementary tips on the art of cooking steak and chips, but you hadn't time, had you?
Ah, well, you know what my golden rule is? Skivvy for one man at a time.
Yeah, well, we've been lumbered with someone who's more than willing to skivvy for us.
Like who?
Like Hilda flipping Ogden.
I thought you were a mate of his.
I'll have this place looking just like mine, she said.
Yuck.
Exactly.
How much is that, then?
55 shillings. I'm sorry, I can't make it any less. Thank you.
We're sampling officers from the health department. We intend sending the samples for examination.
Oh, well, Mrs. Walker's in the back. Shall I get her?
Oh, it's all right, I'll go.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere where we can divide up these drinks?
Well, there's the snug, if that'll do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sampling officers?
Yep.
Oh, dear. They really do pick the most inconvenient times. In the snow. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. My name's Cavendish, Public Health Department, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, well, I don't want you to think I'm grumbling, and I know you have your job to do, but this is the second time within the last 4 months that we've had a spot check.
Oh, this isn't a spot check, Mrs. Walker. I'm afraid a complaint has been made.
A complaint?
Yes. Now, I'm obliged to tell you, Mrs. Walker, that we're going to split up the spirits purchased into 3 separate parts. One will go to you, one will be retained by me, and the third part goes to the public analyst for examination.
Yes, I am familiar with the procedure, Mr. Cavendish. Will you require me further?
Not just now, thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Very well, if you'll excuse me. Well, do continue drinking, ladies and gentlemen. It isn't the end of the world.
Right, love. Thanks, Tam.
Cheers, love. Thanks very much. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Ta-ra.
Hey, have they had their breakfast?
The what? Oh, Oh, them 3 little sparrows that come every morning. Yes, I've just chucked my crust to 'em in the backyard.
No, Len and Ray.
Oh, them 2 sparrows, yes. Well, I don't know for certain, not living there, like, but if it's any help to you, ma'am, Ray come in first thing this morning for 20 cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Oh, them's no breakfast for working fellas.
Perhaps they put milk on 'em.
Hey, did he say out?
Only something very brief, like, about the government.
Oh, no, I mean, did he say out about me? About them wanting me?
That time in the morning, ma'am, all they wanted was fags.
Empty bellies and full ashtrays. It's a shame.
Well, listen, knowing how interested you are in the welfare...
Oh, I am, Chuck.
Right, next time I see one of them, I'm going to put a good word in for you.
Oh, Tanner, but only I don't want to seem too pushing, you know. Oh, hello, Mrs. Tanner. Called in for a drink, have you?
You never know, do you?
Yeah, well, the ginger beer our kid sells is a bit stronger than the stuff they have at a certain pub not far from here.
I should be very careful what you say, Hilda. After all, I only said there'd been a complaint, that's all.
Oh, I know. Stan says you mustn't jump to conclusions. The all matters habeas corpus.
Oh, come off it, ma'am. Accidents can happen.
Yes, as the man said as he pushed his wife off the top of the Blackpool Tower.
There you see. Mrs. Tanner doesn't think it were an accident.
Here, don't you put words in my mouth.
I'm not. Only it stands to common, doesn't it? If you want to make more out of a bottle of whiskey, you put water in it, don't you? And from all we hear, the alleged person is rather hard up. That's why she couldn't give me a rise.
I'll take one of them small loaves, please, love.
Yeah, she's hard up. Yeah,
And I bet you know the true identity of Jack the Ripper and all.
Yeah, and according to Betty Turpin, you was looking a bit funny at your drink last night, and
Oh.
you're an expert.
Thank you and good morning.
Hey, see how she skedaddled when I mentioned that? Makes you wonder if it wasn't her what shot the alleged.
I suppose the next post will be midday.
That's right. That's when you get a letter telling you that an uncle that you never knew you had has died and left you a gold mine in South Africa.
I'm not in the mood, Billy.
Oh, no news is good news. That's what I always say.
And I will say, don't cross your bridges before you come to them. Oh, cheer up, Mum. It might never happen.
But it has happened. You know it's happened. Why? Why?
Well, what gets me is the one that noticed the stuff was watered. Why didn't they report it to you instead of them?
Watered? Who said it was watered? They didn't say it was watered. Why do you say it was watered?
Oh, nobody said anything. There's just been a complaint, and I've told you they'll let you know when the analyst report comes in. Now, come on, put your feet up and I'll make you a cup of tea.
I don't want a cup of tea.
Oh, come on, have a cup of tea.
I want to know why Mrs. Turpin said it was watered.
Because that's what they usually do.
You think I did it?
No,
That's
I
it,
don't.
isn't it?
Honestly, cross me heart, Mrs. Walker. Wasn't a little fair, is it?
I suppose if they put a 5-penny stamp on and posted it locally, it should be here at noon.
Yes, if the postman's not on strike and if the street lamps are on to show him where he's going.
Oh, Billy.
So, come on, sit down, stop worrying until we get the analyst report.
33 years.
Yeah, I know.
33 years. I don't know what your dad would have said.
I do. He'd have said, stop worrying, honey, love. It'll all sort itself out.
That's exactly what he would have said. I read the LVA handbook in bed last night. I couldn't sleep. The maximum penalty is £100 or 3 months in prison or both.
Oh, don't be so daft, Mum. They'll never prosecute, and if they do, they'll take those 33 years into consideration. Nothing'll happen.
During those 33 years, your dad was landlord. I've only been a licensee a few months. A few months.
Ah, good afternoon, Mrs. Ogden.
Flippin' sarky, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, love. I thought it was dinner time. It's only 10:15. I mean, you're only an hour and a half late.
Oh, well, it gives you all the more time to do the spirits, doesn't it?
And what do you mean by that?
Nothing. Part of your job, isn't it? Bottling up.
Insinuating, aren't you?
Oh, no. Only if Mrs. Walker was to lose her licence, I bet I know who'd apply for it. You and your husband. All ex-bobbies like pubs.
Cheeky flip. Listen to me, Mrs. Nosy Parker. Anybody that had a motive for getting Mrs. Walker into trouble's you, 'cause she didn't give you a rise.
Hey, you want to watch what you say?
And you.
Ah, well, I may not have to watch what I say very much longer. I may not be working for the alleged person. I might be doing for gentlemen.
Have you got to keep taking those flaming aspirins?
Keep, I've only taken 2.
Sound like bricks being dropped down a mine
Yeah,
shaft.
yeah, well, that's what flipping feels like. Whose idea was it to rehearse last night for today? Good morning, Frank.
I am not surprised you can't see straight after last night.
Don't tell me you were there and all, darling.
In the spirit, yes. In the flesh, no. I have come to complain.
Well, will you put it in writing, love? And will you write it in your house? I couldn't stand the sound of a scratching pen.
Look, I didn't mind about you keeping Alan and I awake all night with a noise. No. Making a noise and singing at 3 o'clock in the morning has a certain charm all of its own. And you falling downstairs from time to time had an interest too, because we didn't know how far you were going to fall down before you got up again. No, it was when you got us arguing amongst ourselves that I got annoyed.
Arguing?
About 3 o'clock in the morning, a loud noise. Alan said it was something from the classics. I said you knocked a pan down and all the rest went with it.
It were the pans.
Oh, good. I've won my bet. Well, will you do me a favour, lads? In future, when you go out at night and get tanked up and you come home, will you let me know? Or otherwise, send me a programme so as I can follow what's happening.
Elsie, make us some coffee.
In this tip, I will not. Oh, it's not that I couldn't find the coffee. I'm sure you grow your own in the back kitchen there. I just couldn't find the sink, that's all.
Yeah, that's our problem and all.
I'll say one thing for you two. Whatever you were drinking last night, it certainly wasn't watered. It was the pans.
Pan?
The pans.
The pan?
What are you complaining about?
Nah, mate, I feel great.
It means what's your grouse?
I've got no grouse. Why should I have a grouse? I've got a hard-working little wife, haven't I?
1 in a million there, Stan.
Yeah. Feeds me like a king, keeps the house clean. It's like a flipping palace house, I'll tell you. Everything in its proper place, sure.
And yet she still feels she could get time to do another one?
Yeah, well, it's funny you should mention that.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when I said it.
Is that why she sent you?
Well, not exactly, no.
But you are touting for work for her.
If I was passing, and I am, you know, I said I might drop in and sort of drop a gentle in, you know.
Which you did.
Yeah.
Tell her we'd be very grateful.
No.
We'd be very grateful if she'd help us out.
Yes, but it says oriental fruits and spices, tomatoes, dates, mango chutney, molasses, salt and onions and caramel.
I read once that Mohammedans don't drink alcohol.
Oh,
Not bad for 1 at 9, is it?
What the heck are you talking about? But you see me point, don't you? Suppose they leave molasses out, what happens?
Well, you'd still put it on your fish and chips, wouldn't you?
Yes, but then everything wouldn't be same as the label. Something would be missing, wouldn't it? And I could drag them through the courts, couldn't I?
Oh, you could that.
Yes, well, sauce should be made of sauce, gin should be made of gin, and rum should be made of rum.
I don't know what you're getting at me for. I don't put the sauce through an optic, you know.
No, but if you did, you might be tempted to add gravy, browning and vinegar, like Mrs. Walker adds water.
Oh, but Ina says that hasn't been proved yet.
Take no notice of him, Mrs. Caldwell. You know what you are, Mr. Tatlock?
What?
You're a... Look, there's some sardines you ordered. I don't know how many's in them, how many's girls and how many's boys. We'll just have to take each other on trust, won't we?
Perhaps it would be a good thing if we had all been Mohammedans and then we shouldn't drink alcohol and then Mrs. Walker wouldn't be in trouble.
Landlady of the year. We could have settled in Mallorca, you know, if we'd been lucky.
And worn those old sombreros, so late.
The football match. Do you know, I still say that it was my speech before the game that spurred them on to victory.
I'm sure it was. Drink your tea, Mum.
Well, we've certainly given the Gazette plenty to write about over the years. Oh, that awful viaduct disaster. I can still see that young policeman's face. And Martha Long. Well, now we've given them something else to write about.
Ah, we don't know yet. Anyway, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Wouldn't it? It'd be the end of mine, Billy. Oh, what's keeping that postman?
Any checks?
Oh, checks. Just these. One for thou. And one for me.
Flipping more calendars.
Yeah, well, at least we won't be short of dates next year.
Terry and Brownriggs. Not bad.
Dean and Featherstone. Snap. Oh, well. We'll be able to donate one of them to a worthy cause.
Why do plumbers and engineers send out calendars like this? What do underwear firms send out? Diesel engines?
Are you complaining?
No, just... Hello, Albert.
Hey, I suppose you've sent all your bills out, like, for year-end.
That's right, Albert, yes.
Well, that's a pity. For you, I mean, because I want my downspout repaired urgent today. You see, every time it rains, it floods yard.
Every time, so it's been going on a bit.
Well, off and on.
But today, having sent out all the bills, it's urgent.
We do send bills out every month, you know.
Yeah, but I reckon it'll be about this time next year before you get round to the account rendered please remit ones.
You cheeky beggar.
Mr. Tatlock.
Yeah?
Since you are such an esteemed customer of ours, please accept this from us.
What is it?
The calendar. Military uniforms through the ages. Don't say we never gave you out.
No, love, it just says the name of the brewer and the town where it was bottled.
Oh, not like sauce?
What?
Well, it doesn't give the essential ingredients, like mango chutney.
It's milk stout, love.
Oh, yes, I know, Mr. Howard. Only Mr. Taplock said that things should have it displayed on them what's in it, and then we'd know what we was eating and drinking.
Oh, it doesn't do to know everything you're eating and drinking these days, love. She's just in the back. She'll be out in a minute.
All right, I'll leave her.
Don't worry, laughing, Mrs. Galwell. It's come.
What else?
The letter
What letter?
from the authorities.
How the heck do you know?
Look, it's official, is that? And I bet I know what's in it and all. You've had your chips, Mrs. I. Mighty Walker.
Well, it's just, well, you're leaving then, isn't it? You know, it might be being associated with a thing like that.
Yeah.
A good job I got that job for you, now.
You got me.
Took all my tactless way, those two, they needed you. Tact and subterfuge, you know.
No, I'm just thinking 24 hours from now, everybody's going to be wishing everybody else the best. In the meantime, they're wishing everybody else the worst, aren't they?
Don't get involved.
Look, I'm not going to get involved, but I can't help thinking of the bankruptcy time, when they came down from the hills like wolves with their knives sharpened to cut me into little pieces. I feel a little bit sorry for Mrs. Walker.
I'm sorry you've had to wait, love. It's Mrs. Walker. A pint, Alan.
Yes, usual, please.
And gin and tonic, Elsie.
No, just a tonic until we get the news, eh?
Yeah.
Elsie.
A tonic, neat. And thanks for reminding me about the time of your bankruptcy. One of those long knives was Annie Walker's, over a round of drinks you owed.
Betty.
Yeah.
Can you get me a large brandy, please? Love?
Yes, sure.
Hey, when did these arrive?
Just this minute.
How are things back at the garage?
Oh, fine, I got the water pump fitted and needed a new pipe.
Oh, well, that'll make him happy.
Yeah.
Great time of the year for Bill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, Betty, Elsie's only got a tonic.
Yeah, but I don't want it.
Put a gin in it.
But
On the house. Come on, drink that.
Read it.
Well, you start drinking and I'll start reading. Following the visit of our inspectors to your premises, the analyst's report of the samples purchased by them is now to hand. Oh, go on, Mum. Start something.
Just read, Billy.
It confirms that the gin offered for sale to the general public does not comply with the Food and Drugs Act 1955, Section 2. It not being of the nature, quality or substance required by the Act, appropriate action will be taken in due course.
Thank you, Billy.
Where are you going?
Where I must go, to read lists to my customers.
Mum, I don't know about the gin, but when it comes to the nature, substance and quality of a landlady, you've got a lot.
Oh, have you had some post?
No, it's a calendar. I've just bought it.
Oh, well, I tried to get a calendar with pussycats on, only they haven't got any. They're very useful.
Ah, well, this is military uniforms through the ages.
Oh, well, that would be very interesting.
Ah, that's what the girl said.
Well, aren't you going to let me have a look at it?
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, according to shopper... What the blooming...
Oh, Mr. Tattle, I don't think that's very respectable.
Hey, you're a cheeky one, aren't you?
It's that perishing Len Fairclough and Ray Langton. They told me it was soldiers. I trusted them and they said it was soldiers.
Oh, you can't please some men, can you?
Ladies and gentlemen, the report from the Public Health Department, which I'm sure you're all eagerly waiting, has now been delivered to me. I'm sure that you'll all be as astonished as I am to learn that the quality of the gin did not conform to the Food and Drugs Act. Accordingly, and in due course, I shall be taken to court. Now, those of you who know me well, and you all do, I sincerely trust will appreciate that I am completely innocent. I had the opportunity, of course, but then so did others. I trust I can count on your continued support.
Just a minute, Mrs. Walker.
Elizabeth?
By others? Do you mean me?
By others, I meant exactly what I said. Others.
Betty, let it go.
Let it go, and she just publicly accused me.
Oh, she's in a bit of a state. She's just saying the first thing that comes into her head. Anyway, other people did have access. There was Lucille, Miss Nugent, Mrs. Ogden, besides my mum and you. And not forgetting me. Another pint, Stan?
No, thanks, no. It's a wife's new job, you know. I'm just going to see how she's getting on, eh?
Pretty obvious, wouldn't you say?
No.
Well, it is, isn't it? She doesn't get a raise she's after.
All right.
Then our Hilda goes off and gets a new job. Now Stan Hotfoot's off to tell her the news. It's not only Sexton Blake that can work things out, you know.
I don't care what anybody says. I think it's disgusting.
What's he been up to now, Mrs. Colwell?
Well, it's what he might get up to that I'm frightened of. Here, have a look at this.
Hey, look!
By heck, Albert.
Hey.
Come, Rover.
Just what I like this. A tablecloth you can read.
Do ya? Oh, Stan likes that and all. He says read all the newspapers you can get because it broadens your mind.
Oh.
He says the tips is very good in that one. Does the smell of carbolic bother you, Mr. Fairclough?
Mister?
Oh, yeah. While I'm working for you, it's best to be formal. Outside working hours, Len and Ray. But within these walls, Mister. Stan says you should always remember your place.
Oh, he reads the Times and all, does he, Stan?
Of course, that's what kills the germs, you know, carbolic. Kills them stone dead. Oh, never mind your fancy lavender and pine smells. No, carbolic. Antiseptic carbolic. Matter of fact, I brought some of them disinfectant blocks from Annie Walker's Gents and put them in your toilet.
That'll be cosy.
All right, me popping in, eh? Hey, if that's January, what's June like when it's sun shining, eh?
Hey, Stanley, you're not in your own home now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck. She's not the only one hung up, I'll tell you. Annie Walker's going to get summonsed.
I knew it. Comes as no surprise to me.
It does to me.
Why didn't you know from the town hall, then?
No, I'm only a flipping councillor. I'm not the town clerk, you know. But I'll tell you something. I'll make sure there's a thorough investigation.
Oh, yeah, well, that'd only be proper.
Hey, something smells good.
Oh, well, that would be your good lady's carbolic.
That's our Hilda's hot pot.
I've got some corned beef for you, Stan, and pickles. That is, unless, well, there is plenty of hot pot left in the dish.
Pull up a chair.
Ta.
Hey, I do love these friendly little get-togethers.
Oh, stop sulking. I was only joking.
I'm not sulking.
Well, it's very nice, your house is.
Because it's very nice. It's mine, isn't it? It's me.
Well, very true. And mine's me. Only houses can be very lonely. And I think my house must be very lonely missing me because I'm missing my house.
Well, it's not a living thing.
Oh, yes, it is, and you know it is. Houses can be hurt. They're very happy when things are going all right, and they get very upset when things are going wrong.
Oh, you're talking daft.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Well, would you like to go and live in one of those modern old-age pensioners' bungalows?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, why not?
Because I wouldn't.
Well, you might if you could take your house with you.
Oh, you're getting dafter every minute.
Well, Bobby's not daft, and he thinks the same as I do. Cats have instinct. Now, what does he do when I let him out to do his little duty? He runs straight back to his own doorstep.
Yeah, well, that's just habit.
Oh, not at all. Well, perhaps a little is. Like, he doesn't like sitting in your cold scullery when he's used to being in the warmth with me in my house.
Oh, go on, then.
Oh, all right. Come on, Bobby. It's all right.
Like
Yeah, come and sit
blooming
by the
cats,
fire
I
with me,
don't
little
know.
Albert.
Oh, crikey.
When do you want me again, then?
Raymond, when do we want Hilda again?
Well, not tomorrow, love. It's not worth it. The place is going to be wrecked.
Oh, Jan 1?
That's a public holiday.
With pay?
I don't think you quite qualify for our unique pension and holiday scheme, love. Not having worked for just 3 hours.
Oh, Jan 2, eh?
Well, look, I'll tell you what, love. We'll let you know.
Oh, yeah, all right, then. I'll probably be seeing you.
Yeah, and when you do, love, don't forget it's Len and Ray. You won't be working then.
Oh, no. Ta-ra.
Bye-bye. Well, the hot pot wasn't bad, and the place looks clean.
It smells clean, but...
Yes, you'd probably try and work Stanley in as a butler.
And everything we say will be taken down and used in evidence. You know what I reckon, Len?
Well,
I reckon since we've decided to have a housekeeper and spend good money on her, I don't see why we shouldn't take our pick out of the many millions who will answer a sixpenny advert in a corner shop window. Yeah, just leave it to me. Who knows, we might get January, February, June or July.
Oh, they needed looking after them too. Place were like a pigsty. Not fit for gentlemen to live in.
Gentlemen, that's not how I'd describe 'em.
Oh, well, anybody who pays your wage is a gentleman.
I see. So when you was working for Mrs. Walker, was she a lady?
Most of the time.
But she's not now, like, because of all this bother.
Ah, well, that's for the court to find out.
You know, ma'am, there's some people round here, and you know what they're saying? That you're not a lady. And they're also saying that you might know something about that gin, so I'd be careful who I went slanging if I was you.
Who said?
Never mind.
Who said?
Albert Tatlock.
Him?
Albert Tatlock said that Elsie Tanner...
That trollop I might have known. I'll see her at opening time.
Oh, take it easy, ma'am.
I'll take her easy. Oh, why didn't you say you wanted a message running, Raymond? I'd have been only too pleased.
Don't think you would somehow, love. Advertisement for you. It was touch and go whether I shoved it on the telly at peak viewing time or gave it to the sweetest little girl I know for a tanner.
A shilling.
Oh, it's gone up.
Yes, you see, I'm twice as sweet now.
Oh.
Shilling.
Shilling.
Thank you. Attractive young lady required as day housekeeper for 2 respectable business gents. Hey, I don't think my man would like this.
Ah, well, you see, she would if she understood, love, because in a way we are flattering her. Your mother, Mrs. Ogden, is a neighbour. More than a neighbour, a friend. And for us to see a neighbour and a friend down on her knees, scrubbing the floors for us, working her fingers to the bone, sweating over a hot iron for us, well, it was too much.
I don't believe you.
No.
Anyway, come here, Tricky. What's that attractive young bit?
Ah, well, you see, that's to stop being as sharp as applying.
Billy's asked me to remind everybody that there's an extension tomorrow night till about 12:30.
There should be an extension every night.
Oh, do us a favour, I've got a bed to go to.
Well, you can work in shifts, can't you? It's ridiculous, isn't it? You can put anything you like on a public stage. You can buy whatever you like in a bookshop. The permissive society is going mad all around us. And a perfectly ordinary, decent middle-aged man like me, and I can't get a pint after 10:30 at night.
He's on his hobby horse, love.
Right, Mrs. Turpin. For a kick-off, you can go and tell your boss that I've quit. I've got a better job.
With pleasure.
And you, Mrs. Flaming Tanner, or Mrs. Flaming Howard, or whatever you call yourself, you can tell me to my face. You name it, I'll tell it. That I fiddled the gin. Right, you fiddled the gin, and I can't say I'm surprised. Come on. I never touched the rotten gin, but I know who found the town hall. You what did you say, Elder Ogden? No,
Good evening, all.
Mrs. Walker says, will you wait a minute?
If she wants me, I'll be at the top drum. I wouldn't spend money in here on illicit water.
I must have been a very wicked woman.
Oh, don't say things like that. Of course you're not.
Oh, yes, I must. I'm being paid back.
For what?
I don't know, but I'm being paid back. I never thought that Hilda would leave me, not at a time like this.
Oh, come on. You know Hilda. She'll be back.
It must be somebody under this roof, Billy, and yet they're the very ones to whom I've given comfort, shelter, or wages.
Could have been me.
Oh, I'm not as wicked as that. To doubt my own son.
Oh, I wish it had been me.
Why, how would that have helped me?
Look, Mum, stop polishing things that don't need polishing and come into the bar. It's nearly 8. They'll be filling up. Now, come on, keep yourself busy. Keep your mind off things. You know, you've got more friends out there than you realise.
Do I look all right?
You always look all right. Come on.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night, love.